Yeah. Yeah. All right. I've got the script up. If we want, we can do little intros because this is definitely the first time we're doing this.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Forever. Yes.
Well, I mean, first time for Richard, at least.
For all of us.
For all of us, yes.
We've never done one before.
You're right.
Never ever. This is the first time we came up with this idea. The first time we sat down. The first time we set up the microphone, and the first time we did anything.
Lizardo
Nelson
Ligardo.
Mandela. I feel like Nelson Mandela should be brought up.
Berenstain.
Berenstein?
Stein.
Stein?
Anyway.
Moving on.
Who wants to start with introductions?
Is it on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Hi.
Is that it?
Real fucking winner.
My name's Blake. How are you?
They're not going to answer you.
Well, yeah, but maybe they'd like to hear it.
It's just the guy watching. Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Maybe they'd like to hear it.
Come on, man.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's nice. All right.
I think that's an introduction for Blake.
That's an introduction for Blake. I'm Matt. That's
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing okay.
Cool.
I'm doing okay. Just got off work.
Feeling good?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Feeling frisky?
Maybe.
All right. Well, didn't want to know that part.
Why did you ask?
Because I didn't expect you to respond. All right.
He's asking me questions.
I'm Richard. I'm definitely feeling frisky today.
He just went for it.
I am Max, and I'm so frisky that I should probably be kept away from pretty much everybody right now.
Yeah, stay on that side of the table, please.
Yeah.
Can I switch sides?
No,
No.
it's already. We already started recording. We can't go back
I'm
now.
afraid you're gonna have to be here with frisky.
Oh, he's touching me.
All right. So, does anyone want to like workshop a name real quick? Because I've been trying to figure out one, and I just don't have any.
For the like podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So your name is Matt.
4 blind men.
4 blind men.
4 blind men. That's good. 4 blind men. That's actually really
That
good.
makes me feel old.
We are old.
Yeah, we're mid-20s. That's like
You could still buy a
I'm
house
not-
when we were younger.
I am not mid-20s yet.
Well,
We'll get on our level,
yeah.
Blake.
Gosh, Blake. Anyway,
Be a
so
real millennial.
dream about owning a house, but never actually being able to.
Oh,
Own
I'm
a
never
house.
going to dream about that because I think houses are probably a bad investment in general. Yeah.
Anyway,
So Alien 3.
Anyway, so what this podcast is I downloaded a bunch of scripts a while back. So I gotta cancel my subscription and just go off of Bobby's because he's like, yeah, I have one and I accidentally pay for him. Like, dude, I'll just mooch off yours and cancel mine. But I got all these scripts off of this site. And a bunch of them are just like unused sequels. There's stuff like, Jurassic Park 4,
That would be a
Space
good one to
Jam.
do.
That would be a good one to do. Space Jam 2, which I found out is a fake script, but I have it downloaded, so whatever. Gladiator 2, E.T. 2. There's just a bunch of weird stuff, a bunch of unmade superhero movies as well. And I thought, what's a better podcast than going into these things completely blind? So, that's what we're gonna do. And the one that we're doing today is gonna be Alien 3, specifically since there's so many of these. The 1991 with the monks and the wooden planet, the Vincent Ward one. The most I know is that these monks live on a planet made of wood. That's it.
Okay.
well, and of course, aliens.
So Matt, I'm
Mhm.
gonna need some braille because I can't see because we're blind. There we go. Made my bad joke of the day.
Are you proud of that?
No.
I feel like a big man.
That did not land.
Yeah.
It never will.
There was no helipad. Just drowned in the ocean, dude.
That's how I
Anyway,
wanna
so
go.
what we're gonna do is when we get to a character, we're gonna see who wants it, and then we'll go from there. We're probably gonna switch off of narrators depending on how thick the narration is.
Oh boy.
But let's get right to it. We've all got the script up. Anyone want to start us off?
Do we want to do the quote at the beginning?
Of course.
All right.
So this draft was written March 29th of 1990. This is a 29-year-old script?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, slightly over 29 years.
All right. So let's
'Cause it was
begin.
in March.
First draft, March 29, 1990. But how will you die when your time comes, Narcissus, since you have no mother? Without a mother, one cannot love. Without a mother, one cannot die. Hess. Alien 3. The screen is black. A pinpoint of light appears. Red, an ember, unseen, bellows blow. Glass furnace. The embers glow. Flame. The fire grows. A river of molten glass, heated by the furnace to over 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit, white hot. Glass factory. Flickering flame casts dancing shadows on wooden walls. Coarsely grained wood. Moisture blasted out by years of intense heat. Timbers split, patched with new wood. It looks too now old and dry.
Smoke billows up the walls. Hangs an angry black cloud amongst the rafters, and beams of the vaulted ceiling. Almost obscures a man. On a narrow ledge 20 feet above the glassworks floor. His clothing is medieval. A rough textured cassock. He is a monk. Louvers are set into the wall. He angles them open. The smoke begins to escape. The monk turns, raises arms, and leaps from his lofty perch, gently gliding down to the floor with the aid of a flowing fox, a primitive handheld pulley that runs down a rope. He lands next to the glass furnace, surrounded by
More monks.
Okay.
I got it. By their dress, with blowing iron and pontil, they blow and shape the molten glass, crack off the finished pieces, the old away. One particular monk, black-skinned, early 50s, stirs his 5-foot long blowing iron in the molten glass, but he is watching something else. It moves him to song. Lilting tenor lifts high into the air. This is Brother Kyle. Who wants to be Brother Kyle?
I guess I'll do it. I haven't read yet.
Yeah, it hasn't narrated. Yep.
How does this song go?
Just make it up.
All right.
Make up the melody. That's that.
Well, would he guess the ascending of the star? Where in his patience fortune settled were, he knew the course of every melody, were it of cold or heat or moist or dry. Brother John would be a doctor of physique.
Ugh.
I don't think that was right, but
hey, you said there was.
no, I know, but like
You gave it a very jazzy vibe.
it was like too jazzy for that depressing opening, like
I mean,
for that like somber opening. Like all of a sudden it's just like super peppy, like.
I feel like it was more supposed to be read like, well, would he get like a fucking
Like-
slow
like-
drawl?
Well, now we know his character.
Really?
Brother John is very happy to be here.
Brother Kyle.
Oh, Brother Kyle. I'm reading.
We see the object of his song, Brother John.
Not yet 40. Strong features, but fear behind the eyes. The fear that comes from a lack of inner confidence. A good face nonetheless. Ugh. Sorry, a piece of meat fell off my mouth.
Meat.
I'm eating a quesarito from Taco Bell.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag please sponsor us, Taco Bell. I love you.
Hashtag sponsor Matt's Insides.
Oh, you're
They're
asking for
dying.
sponsors in like the first 10
Shill
minutes
first,
of the
man.
first.
Shill first, ask questions later.
Okay.
That's how you
Taco
succeed.
Bell now offering 2 $5 deals.
Hmm.
The $5 Chalupa fill-up box, which comes with a taco, bean and rice burrito, and beef, and chalupa as well.
If you mention Alien 3,
You
you'll get nothing. Okay. A good face nonetheless.
Wait.
What?
Subscribe to our Patreon. Thank you.
Our Patreon, our GoFundMe, Indiegogo.
All of which
Kickstarter.
All of which we totally have.
Like our MySpace page and ask for our AOL message.
We should actually make a MySpace page.
I don't
think.
I think we can.
Can you?
I think we can.
Anyway,
That's
Brother
weird.
John, not yet 40, strong features, but fear behind the eyes. The fear that comes from a lack of inner confidence. A good face, nonetheless. He stirs a thick mixture in a mortar. Next to him, another monk sits holding his arm out in front of him, cassock sleeve rolled up, revealing a vicious bird. Brother Kyle.
Who wants to be Brother
Tend
Kyle?
you quickly.
You're
are
already
bro-
brother.
you are
Kyle.
brother
No,
Kyle.
he's Brother John.
No, he's
brother
brother
Oh, he is.
Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be
Alright.
Brother John.
Okay. Tend you quickly he will with bottles from a shelf, but heals not so easily the ills which plague himself.
Brother John, stop stirring.
He hates your singing.
He's a real upset.
He's a very upset
I'm gonna
cat.
go check on that. Richard, you be Brother John.
Enough.
He scoops the salve out with his fingers and applies it to the burned monk's arm. The burned monk inhales sharply. Did they spell sharply wrong? Or is that like the...
Yeah, I think they spelled sharply wrong.
Wow.
Moving on.
Can't believe this. The burned monk inhales sharply as the cool mixture contacts the injured area.
Relax. Put those lungs of yours to better use.
Yes, doctor.
What was wrong with the cat?
He hated his singing. That was legitimately.
Kyle laughs, removing the blowing iron from the molten glass. A blob of white hot glass hanging on the end. He rolls the blob on the marver, a flat, polished piece of iron, then begins to blow a bottle-shaped container. John wraps a fray-edged cloth bandage around the burn.
Keep this from getting wet. Go home at late afternoon mealtime and don't come back to work today.
But John...
I'll tell the abbot. Just rest today. You're lucky you only burned yourself on the side of the furnace. If some of that glass had gotten on your arm...
He points to the top of his forearm.
It would have burned clean through to the other side.
He mimes a drop down from the bottom of his arm. The burned monk shudders at the thought. Bells toll.
That's late afternoon, now get on.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome. Go.
The burned monk trundles off, injured arm against his chest. John gathers his mortar, pestle, and extra bandages into a burlap sack. Kyle comes over.
Good work.
All right, but I'm no Father Anselm.
Anselm.
Ansel.
Anselm the Wise.
Oh no!
You're yourself. That's better.
Did Kingdom Hearts rip off this unproduced Alien 3 script from
Yes.
1990?
Yes,
Yes.
the answer is yes.
Did it rip it
Correct.
off 12 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kyle pushes him through the door, into the hallway. The hallway is alive with cassocked monks. Their low chanting reverberates through the building. The wooden floorboards creak beneath their combined weights. This is obviously a medieval monastery.
The abbot will be pleased.
Don't.
Don't what?
Please don't tell him. At least until I know if there's an infection.
You want to be the abbey's physician, but you haven't learned the first rule. Don't worry about the patient.
John's face drops.
I shouldn't have. Sorry, look, I know how you must.
You don't. But thanks anyway.
At the end of the hallway, a wide stairwell. A constant stream of monks all moving down the stairs, coming from the floors above, headed for lunch. Kyle starts down. John starts up.
Not coming down?
I have someone waiting for me.
Kyle disappears into the crowd. John moves up. The stairway. A river of brown cassocks running downstream. John is the only one moving against the flow. He exits the stairwell. One floor up. A narrow corridor lined with doorways. John moves to one in particular. He doesn't even look as he grabs the door's knob. This is his room. He opens the door. In Brother John's room, an old worn-out dog lays in wait on an old worn-out cassock which is now serving as his bed. At the sight of John, it stands.
Come on, Matthias.
The dog Matthias joins him in the hall. Monk and Pet disappear up a flight of stairs, past another dozen or so monks who are on their way down. Interior library. A vast room filled with rows of wooden tables and low benches between the aisle after aisle of floor-to-ceiling wooden shelves, jammed to capacity with books of all shapes and sizes. Millions of books from the look of it. From each book hangs a long chain, long enough to allow the book to be carried only as far as the nearest table. A corpulent monk. Corpulent monk? That is okay.
Do you want to describe that word for us, Max, in case anyone in the audience doesn't know
Yeah,
what it means?
please.
Okay, so I mean, all right, just
Fucking
in case.
fat.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
just-
you.
It means like grossly fat, like obese in a disgusting way.
I want to be
A
Philip.
ball. This man is a ball on legs.
Okay, a corpulent monk, Brother Philip, in his 50s,
Fuck.
and Matt kicks the table,
Did that show up?
probably.
Well, you can edit it, whatever.
In his 50s, and the librarian, by his stern effect, his position behind a broad but also old oak desk, and the large key hanging from his belt. He watches a few stragglers return their chain-bound volumes to the shelves and head for the door, then rises to join them. In the corridor, just outside the library, John leans against the wall as Philip exits. Matthias is nowhere to be seen. Philip.
Brother John.
Brother Philip.
Feeding the mind instead of the body again.
My training has taught me to feed what's hungry.
Philip pats his broad stomach and heads down the hallway.
As did mine. As long as you're alone, enjoy yourself. And remember, no book leaves the library.
How could I forget? Have a good meal.
Philip's a fat fuck.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is. I love him.
John watches the corpulent monk, corpulent librarian, head
Fat
down the
pilgrim.
stairs.
Pilgrim.
When he's gone from sight, John lifts the bottom of his cassock and reveals Matthias.
Perfect.
How big is this dog?
I think it's like a fucking lapdog.
No, how big is a cassock? What's a cassock?
Why are there so many cassocks in this fucking monastery?
I'm pretty sure cassocks are like a giant robe.
It's a type of robe.
Oh,
Let me-
that's
let me-
what I thought.
Let me bring you up a fucking.
That's what I thought.
Please Google along. If
Yeah,
you're,
so- I will show you this.
Yeah,
It's like
this will require video editing.
Oh, I straight up have worn one of those before.
yes.
yeah, so it's not uncommon.
By the way, we totally need to show people Fat Pilgrim when
Of
the
course we
comes
do.
up.
I don't even know what that short was called, but I know it's on Hulu.
Don't you also have like a physical copy of it somewhere?
No, that's Treasure Planet 1982.
Wait, you have a physical copy of Treasure Planet 1982?
Why?
No, I have a digital copy.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be like
I'll burn it on a DVD and put it in the ground.
They
Nothing
move-
will grow.
By the way, if you want to watch something that you will never
No,
be able to watch,
don't. Don't recommend it.
No.
Do not
They
recommend
move
it
into
to
the
them.
library, the medieval section, the oldest books. John moves to the stacks. Matthias trots over to a particular bench and sits. This is his regular place. At the shelves, John stands on toe tips, or tiptoes, as I would probably put it, to
Well,
retrieve.
you're not Vincent Ward, are you, Blake?
Well, Vincent Ward is stupid.
How dare you say that about Vincent Ward? Writers of such great hits as My Phone's Over There, and I'm getting up to get my phone.
We'll be right back.
After these messages from Taco Bell.
who has done such
Get your quesarito now.
who's done such great things as A State of Siege, In Spring, One Plants Alone, Vigil, The Navigator, A Medieval Odyssey, Alien 3.
Whoa, he did Alien 3?
You only did
You good?
Are you
Map of the Human Heart.
are you having a heart attack?
Dreams
Oh,
May
wait.
Come.
Oh, What Dreams May Come was pretty good, though.
I
The
haven't
Last
seen it. I don't know.
Samurai
Last
River-
Samurai? Wait, what? What?
and Reign of Children.
Okay, Last
That's
Samurai
director,
was
though.
okay.
What about writing credits? Okay, never mind. It's the same.
He wrote
I
a lot
mean,
of
the
the movies
la-
he directed.
Oh, he
Last
didn't?
Samurai is basically the first weeb.
Yeah.
Where's The Last Samurai? I don't see that on here. Is that...
It's the end of one era and the start of another.
Okay. So
He's also got something in development called MacDonald. Let's see what that's about.
Let's not.
Real
do that
life
right
crime writer Ross McDonald finds himself in his own detective story when his daughter vanishes.
Hey.
Ooh.
But anyway.
Yeah, no.
sorry. Okay, yeah. So
At the shelves?
yeah, at the shelves, John stands on his tiptoes to retrieve an ancient tome. He runs his fingers over a familiar leather binding. A smile plays across his lips. Very, he's like, oh.
I guess John's frisky too.
Yeah, he's all frisky about this book.
It's a frisky night, man.
He carries
Is it Arabian Nights?
Yeah.
Oh no. He carries the book, places it on the edge of the table so there's a slack in the chains. Sits on the bench next to the dog. Clears his throat, opens the book, and begins to read.
In the year of our Lord, 1348, 1. Brother Gerhado of the Minorite Abbey helped bury the abbot and my 60 fellow monks.
Sometimes I think you'd like that.
John turns to find the abbot, leader of the monastery in his 70s.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was going to be like in his 20s. I'm like, oh, shit. He's like 40.
He smokes horribly.
He smokes
It's
like...
it's not even the smoke, it's just all this glass making like fucking residue because they're
Honestly, yeah. I thought I was...
glass in his throat.
I'm like, oh, that's a great voice. I'm like, oh no, what if he's like 50? Like...
Okay.
Anyways.
Leader of the monastery in his 70s, but looks younger. His cassock is adorned with large, ornately carved wooden chains in place of a rope belt. He crosses to the table. John closes the book and stands, head bowed in respect.
Abbot, I didn't think anyone would.
Mind? Just Philip if he knew. I passed him
fat
on the way
fuck,
up.
I don't care.
Coming alone. I knew better.
He scratches the back of Matthias's neck.
Hello, Matthias. How are you, boy?
The dog snuffles in response.
I'm just imagining like...
I think the dog's going like that.
He does like my dog does.
And then just stands there staring at nothing.
Yeah!
Abbot,
You know what Philip says about Matthias's hair and his breathing. You have to take him out of here.
He likes when I read to him, and I can't.
John looks down sheepishly. Though nearly 40, he feels almost adolescent in the presence of the abbot. The abbot pulls a large key from his pocket.
What was the tone shift?
I don't know. Welcome.
Someone like possessing
Well,
him.
the abbot pulls a large key from his pocket and then clinks it into the table, revealing the top secret high technology beneath the medieval facade.
Brother John, I'm glad you came here today. We need you to save Ellen Ripley. She's on a space station not far from here. Is there anyone else with her? No one anyone cares about.
This time
just a
on-
robot and some girl.
This time on Alien 3.
Take our most advanced power armor and our greatest weapon, the sword of the Lord.
We learn at the end of this that,
It's a fucking lightsaber.
they've actually been making meth the whole time, not glass.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I just sound shift.
Someone must have left this one unlocked. Take the book with you.
He hands the key to John, who is shocked. This is a great honor.
Father,
Kyle tells me you did a good job at the glassworks today.
I'll reserve judgment until the patient lives.
John crosses to the shelf and unlocks his book. He returns the key.
It will get easier. Father Ansem was an unexpected loss. You'll do fine.
So are we just gonna go with Father Ansem now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably gonna come back.
The abbot walks
Right?
towards the door.
Just have it back before the end of lunch. Oh, and I didn't see you in here.
Thank you. Let's go upstairs, boy.
He says that to the abbot. It gets kinky.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
John takes his book, moves to the spiral wooden staircase, Matthias at his heels, goes up into the bell tower. The mechanics of the bell tower, all ropes and wooden cogs, cast scary shadows. A doorway leads to the roof of the abbey. Thick with sandy dust, the wood shows through thin patches. We pull back to reveal what we think is the roof of the abbey is actually the surface of Arceon at night. The door has opened onto the surface of a planetoid. No, plantoid.
Just say planetoid.
No, it's a plantoid now.
It's a great giant plant hive mind, which has assimilated the monks into its superstructure.
That'd be really cool, actually. But
Yeah, we're going with that now.
It has become Catholic.
the curved horizon, broken only by the very top of the Abbey Bell Tower, poking through from the levels below. Smoke curls from the vents and is set into the surface. Sunken areas of the planet's surface are seas?
Yeah, I've actually seen concept art of it. It's really neato.
Yeah, okay. I thought I was confused for a moment. This is Arceon, a man-made orbiter. A shell of lightweight foamed steel, 5 miles in diameter, constructed by the company on special order, with habitable level within finished...
With the habitable level within, finished in whatever material suits its end user.
Oh, there wasn't a comma there. That's
So
that
this
threw
is
me off.
like... This is like
Yeah, look
Okay.
at this.
a model... This is like model homes, but for planets.
Yes.
That's the top, and that's gonna be like.
Let me see.
It's okay. I can smell
It's
your
like
Taco Bell.
It's
like
right
they
here,
can
dude.
throw one of
Like-
these together. It's like Wayne Holmes can throw one of these together in like 3 days.
Wayne Holmes throwing together your favorite planetoids.
Honestly, that fits the
Oh.
company pretty well. Not gonna lie.
So, okay. Level within, finished with whatever material shoots to it.
How about you just skip that one? Just
Are you okay?
Just
Are you
go to the
okay?
next
No,
one.
it's fucking giving me a seizure.
Just go to the next one.
This orbiter, for reasons to be discovered later, has been sheathed in wood. John walks to the shore of the inland sea, sits on a bare patch of wood, and looks up. His eyes grow accustomed to the night sky. From John's point of view, freckled with the tiny dots of light, stars spread across the inky void, bathe Arceon's surface with their celestial glow. John smiles at Matthias, breathes deep. The atmosphere up here is thinner but fresher. He opens the book and reads aloud.
In the year of our Lord 1348-1, Brother Gerhado of the Minorite Abbey helped bury the abbot and my 60 fellow monks, day by day, one by one, until I am the only one left. I stayed as long as I could bear it. Then, with my dog...
Matthias lifts his ears at this part. It's his favorite part.
Roll.
fled. I have put this parchment to lest this pestilence, this black death, stay my hand.
Beat.
This was finished by another hand.
John closes the book. Something catches his eye. Something among the myriad points of lights in the sky, millions of miles away. One of the stars, brighter than the rest. It's moving, fast enough to leave a faint trail across the stars and down. It's a comet. John stands and watches. The star grows brighter, drawing nearer. John, joined by 3 other monks, they are older than he, the 4 men watch the sky. The star, brighter still, closer. More monks, 24, 100. They come up through the planet's surface, out of the wooden trapdoors, and join the others. Days pass. Now 300, necks bowed back, mouths agape. A subtitle identifies.
This sounds like the beginning of a Dark Souls game.
Honestly,
You
yeah.
gotta fight the monks, man.
No, like everyone, like you just see everything just slowly building up as something is just coming towards the planet. Yeah.
Religious colony, Arceon.
All right, Matt. You're taking over.
Oh, but I want to be
Good
Ripley.
job.
You just did that.
No.
I haven't gotten to be a person yet.
Yeah, let Blake be a person.
Fine. Religious colony, Arceon. Population 350 exiles. Crime, political heresy. Ooh.
You know, we could probably actually like just narrate and then also do characters. Just switch off the narrates.
That's true. That'd be true.
Well, that's why I was switching off
Oh.
narrations.
We could maybe like pass off every 10 minutes.
The star fills
Also
the sky,
keep our characters.
burns brighter still as it hits the planetoid's atmosphere. On the surface of Arceon.
Okay, fine. You can be Ripley.
I want to be the little girl if she doesn't die. No, I want to be Bishop.
Why not both?
Because the little girl sucks. Now I remember Bishop's in this.
Can I be the alien?
Yeah, you can be the alien. Well, do you
He
have?
said alien, not gremlins. Like
I'm the little mouth.
No, Max is the little mouth now.
that's like the cartoon voice when you're like on the phone. Yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah, I'll let him know.
Blake's the big mouth. Max is the little mouth.
On the surface of Arceon, hundreds of monks shield their eyes as the ship, the star, roars over their heads, trailing fire. John holds up his hands to touch a star. Skin blisters as it passes over him. He turns and watches as it arcs downward into the sea.
Into a burp.
I thought I was gonna vomit for a sec.
Oh, right.
Not in my house.
Yes, in your house. Oh no, I went too far down. Give me a sec. Shit. Into the sea. Whomps. Plumes of steam rise into the air. The water boils. Fish bob to the surface, bloated, dead.
Wow, they bloated right quick.
John is the first to hit the shore. Small leather and wood fishing boats tossed by the wake. His coracle is the first into the water. The others running up behind him. He cannot hear the shouts of warning. On the sea, dawn. How big is this? You know what?
It's fucking huge, apparently.
It took 5 days for this ship to crash. Like,
Space is big, bro.
No, but-
space big.
But plantoid bigger.
That's true.
Plantoid only 5 miles in diameter.
I mean, wood
Plantoid
is
larger than space.
wood is part of tree, so
Plantoid grow?
plantoid.
Plantoid grow.
Plantoid grow. Plantoid grow.
You know, next thing we're
Plantoid
gonna
grow.
know is the fucking plantoid is actually absorbing a nearby sun
Plantoid
for fucking solar energy.
Plantoid grow.
It's a Dyson sphere, but it's fucking made of wood.
Plantoid
It's slowly expanding. It's using the carbon
Ellen
given off
Ripley.
by the monks.
Ellen
Oh,
Ripley
no.
merged with Plantoid.
I mean, it is the company.
Riploid. Ripleytoid.
Like-
Ellendoid.
They're like fighting off the alien, and then like the walls just come to life and squish it,
That'd be funny.
and it's just like
Oh. Stubborn not an abomination unto the Lord. I know Dominique. Like, oh no, we gotta get out of here.
It's a religious tree.
The sun cracks over the black water. John's hands move the rough wooden oars. Blistered palm opens. Blood flows. He tears off a piece of his cassock, rips it with his teeth, wraps the bloody hand. Rose, the star, ship, starship.
The starship.
Sulaco escape vehicle number 4 rocks on the water. White metal skin blackened by the heat. John rows right into it. His coracle pitches in the choppy surf. He scrambles onto the ship's cracked tile surface, teeters, balances, moves to the unmistakable hatch. Looks around for a knob, a handle next to the hatch. A small panel door whose black and yellow stripes denote urgency. John hesitantly opens the door, revealing a shiny metal lever. He stares at it a beat, then quickly pulls it down. Whoosh! Hull doors open. Damn it, page down. Can you stop for a second? And the doorway is a black maw. John crosses himself, begins to lower his foot into the hatch.
Watch it.
He almost falls backward off the ship, looks back. The other monks
Whoa.
are rapidly approaching. Kyle gesticulates wildly.
John, wait! Don't go in!
John, wait! Don't go in!
Don't go in, John!
You look like a fucking...
The audience can't see us gesticulating, but we definitely are.
Just imagine the wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man, and you're good.
Wacky inflatable arm waving tube man. Wacky inflatable arm tube.
Don't start that.
Hi, I'm John Harrington. I'm Al Harrington. Al Harrington.
Oh god.
Due to a mistaken shipment, I am currently in possession of many...
Okay,
Sorry.
moving on.
Passing the savings on you. John turns back to the open hatch. Machine recirculated air flows out. Oh, machine recirculated air flows out. He feels it on the skin of his face. Cool. Cool and artificial. It calls to him. He steps in, swallowed by the blackness.
They have air conditioning.
Whoosh, clang, and the door closes behind him. Interior, Sulaco escape pod number 4, day. Dark, dim red lights. John stands still as his eyes adjust to the darkness. He sees a glass and metal coffin, pneumatic ripping twines around its base. The glass lid is broken. A small red light pulses at the head of the tube. A soft voice and tone, like your seatbelt warning, is audible. Seal broken. Seal broken. John finds himself moving towards the tube. Looks through the broken lid. In the tube, there is a splattered bloodstain on the sterile white interior. Old, turned rust brown. Whatever happened here happened a while ago. Rust-colored...
Fucking die.
Yeah. Rust-colored drips trail down to the floor.
Wow, Newt hasn't survived in any version of the script.
Well, the thing is, the actress stopped acting after Aliens.
They could just get another little girl. They all look the same.
Yeah, but everyone's gonna be like, oh, this is the same girl, so this movie sucks. But everyone thinks Alien 3 sucks, except me.
Well, I mean, the director's cut's really good.
Well, we can get to the director's cut. Even the director's like, yeah, this shit sucks.
So why would
Might-
anyone
might
else
be.
think otherwise?
Because the theatrical cut's really terrible, but the assembly cut's pretty damn good. But anyway,
But the director hates it.
well, he's come
The
around
direct-
to it.
Oh,
the
we did?
director's
Okay.
cut is different from the assembly cut, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? That's great.
I haven't seen the director's cut. The closest we can get is the assembly cut.
Okay.
Little bit of Alien 3 history. On the floor, drag marks. His eyes follow the stains to a pile of bloody clothing against a control panel. A jumpsuit, torn, child size. The head of child's doll, but no body to be found.
Holy shit.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Well,
jeez.
they are like making it very clear. Newt is fucking dead.
Good.
I still really love the opening credits to Alien 3, man. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it.
I know, man. We all know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
John looks back towards the door. Part of him wants to get the hell out of here, but he fights back his fear. He is a doctor, or trying to be. Someone in here may need his help. He presses forward, averts his gaze from the clothing, up to the blinking and glowing instrumental panels and their myriad. Lights. Pressure lights, data lights, warning lights, thousands of lights, like the stars in the sky. It's been decades since he's seen technology like this, and never this close up. He steps further into the ship, his fear now replaced by fascination, follows the lights.
He's dead.
On a pale green screen, LED numbers race. 7,291.91.01, 05, 06, 07. A legend identifies. Elapsed time since separation. He moves on. A video monitor. Through scanning bars of snow, an image, a woman with a young girl standing in front of her. The woman's arms are wrapped around the girl, protective, maternal. The woman speaks. Her message repeats itself, a tape loop, although John has no idea what that is.
Taking Pod 4. The crew of the SS Sulco and all Marine commandos are dead. Ship sensors have been interrupted in the hypersleep cycle. An overlooked alien egg has hatched. Bishop and Hicks have been killed.
Damn it!
Xenomorphs have infested the cruiser. Newt and I are taking Pod 4. The crew of... and ...
The warning tone of the woman's message rekindles John's fear. He moves more hesitantly around the periphery. I totally blanked out on what that word was for a second. Around the periphery of the ship, following the trail of blinking instruments. Drawn to touch a button. Click. Something tentacle-like drops down on his shoulder. Just an oxygen mask. John feels his rapidly beating heart as he pushes aside the plastic dangling object and continues around the shuttle. His hand brushes over a sensor which responds by lighting, and a blast of freon shoots out of an overhead pipe. John shouts and backs up into another hypersleep tube. Next to Newt's now empty tube. Humming gently, still operational, John approaches it cautiously. He can make out the occupant through the lid. A woman. The woman from the screen. This is Ripley in hypersleep, wearing a white cotton tank top and boxer-type shorts. Christ, she looks beautiful. Now, hold on. Continuity error. Because at the end of Aliens and in Alien, she's not wearing boxer-type shorts, my man.
They wrote plantoid. This is a first draft.
Also, it could be possible that she changed on the ship and
It's
then the alien happened.
Also, it's possible that it is a plantoid, Richard. God.
I'm waiting for this tree.
I'm waiting for this thing to wake up, like,
and just be like, fuck.
I have awoken from my slumber.
They didn't exile these guys to this place.
March of the end.
These guys took this thing, or this thing took them.
It took them right from medieval Earth. They've been here, kept alive, immortal from the thing's special space powers.
John looks from Ripley to her image on the monitor, then back, sinks to his knees, reverent. Fascination has replaced fear again. Moves his face closer to the lid, closer to hers.
Oh, come on, man.
Daylight. It's been like 2 seconds.
He starts making out with the glass.
He's been on a planet with 350 other political heretics.
Adapt.
Fuck.
I mean, they're all. I thought they were all religious, man. I assumed this was a religious thing.
No.
Dude. Loving ass is a religion. Being an ass man is a
There's
religion.
actually there's two sects on the monk colony.
It's tits and ass.
The tits and ass men.
The tits men are wrong. We all know this.
Which one is Brother Philip?
Brother Philip is both. Brother Philip's whatever he gets his hands on, man. Brother Philip is a scavenger.
Brother Philip is the man who recognizes that while one or the other is good, right? Ass is superior, but both is the best.
Guys, no, guys. Brother Philip is a melon man.
Brother Philip is the kind of guy who, like, just gets fat, has fat sex with a fat person.
Yeah, like he wants.
Like, it's just fat people.
He needs more to grab onto.
Like, you just hear like.
Maybe he's a sex god.
Welcome to our Alien 3.
Thank the gods for audio editing.
Yeah.
No, that's leaving it in.
Probably. Okay, closer to hers, daylight spills in. John's head whips towards the source of the light. The door. Open, Kyle and the other monks.
Kyle?
Kyle, get off your phone, Kyle. You're not supposed to have technology on this plantoid.
I'm sorry. I forgot.
You heretic.
Sorry, I got a text from my dad from 2 hours ago.
Then why respond to it now? It's been 2 hours. What's another 2 hours?
John, what is it? Is this a supply ship?
John?
No.
John.
No supplies. Kyle, there's someone in here.
The second monk looks at Kyle. This is forbidden.
This is forbidden.
Women are forbidden.
No girls allowed, John. We put that sign out there for a reason, dude.
Like it's a terribly painted sign, like no girls, like with G-U-R.
The R is like
No,
backwards.
It's not even a sign. They had to write it into like the planet itself. That's
It's
how
girls
they
with
see
a
it
Z and a U.
From, they have to see it from space.
Okay. John, just get the hell out of there.
I don't want to stay. I have to get her out before this sinks. You come in, give me a hand.
Look, this is not a supply ship, so this is technology forbidden to us. Get out of there now. I don't know where.
John looks down at Ripley.
I came from Boston.
No, John looks down at Ripley. Ooh.
Hi,
Oh, she's
Ripley.
about to hatch.
He's about to hatch into an even more gorgeous form.
What is she
If that's
fucking?
possible.
Is she fucking perfect cell? What's going on here?
Yes.
Yeah, it's perfect Ripley. A keypad is mounted at the head of the tube. A red button. Emerg open. That's plain enough.
All right.
He presses it. The tube opens with a loud blast of compressed air. The monks at the door recoil at the sound. Cut to.
It's the blast.
You do this. I'm gonna go get a Baja Blast.
Oh yeah, could you take those out of the freezer too?
I could take over the narration. I haven't done any yet.
Right on, right on.
I'm already leaving, so okay.
Give me one, please.
Okay. Do you want a Baja Blast from Taco Bell?
Hashtag not sponsored.
Could I also
Get a
Baja
quesadilla
Blast?
today.
A Taco Bell Baja Blast?
Well,
Does
yeah,
anyone else
Taco-
want a Taco Bell Baja Blast?
If there's 4 of them, yes. Otherwise, I'll pass.
Taco Bell, give us money.
Please.
Cut to exterior spaceship
if-
on the sea. Day. Ripley has been lowered into a large coracle. John holds her in front of him, unconscious. Her head lolls as the boat rocks on the waves. The monks start to row back to short.
A spaceship.
Second monk, even more reverent.
A woman!
You shouldn't have gone in.
I'm supposed to be a doctor.
He pushes Ripley's hair away from her forehead.
She could have been lost.
Been a long time since I saw either.
It isn't sinking. Look at it. What are we supposed to do with it?
What was it like in there?
Lights. So many lights.
Tow it in. Bring it in.
It's evil.
It's just technology.
Evil technology. Look at these fish.
The abbot will know what we should do with it.
Wow, Matt chose the wrong time to leave.
Yeah, I'm covering a lot of lines here.
Just lights?
Machines, buttons, metal. See? Just look at the fish.
The abbot will know.
They're boiled. These fish are boiled.
Oh my gosh.
Those are so fucking cold, dude. Oh my god.
I told you to take them out of the freezer. They're
Cracking a
fucking
cold one with the boys.
Ow, my
fuck
hands
yeah.
like hurt, dude. Fuck.
Oh shit,
Dude. Relax.
I did nothing.
Yeah, that might have been my fault.
I believe that was Matt's
Matt,
fault.
That's my B. Where are we?
Christ.
Matt created a bee.
Fuck, dude, that sprayed right on me.
Yeah.
It's like you're like
What the
personally
hell?
offended from that. Like, oh my god.
Holy
It only got on
shit.
you too. Like
It's fucking like
I mean, look,
Angry.
it aimed straight that way.
Like-
There's nothing on this.
it's only on me. It didn't even hit the laptop.
Maybe a ghost is mad at you.
Good.
the ghost of
Fuck
Taco
'em.
Bell is mad at you for not wanting to be sponsored.
Okay.
I'm
This
the
is
one-
if
I've
this
been
is going on
chilling hard.
YouTube. We're
Yeah,
not
he's been
getting
chilling
Taco
hard. I
Bell.
was
We're
the
getting
one who-
Audible.
All right, fine. Let's yeah.
Or
So,
NordVPN.
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 So, oh god, it's leaking out.
Oh my gosh, is there ice in here?
Probably. I didn't.
At least you got them out before they blew up.
Is this like a slush?
Oh, wait, Matt, did you take all of them out?
That's all there was.
Okay. So,
Anyway,
I don't
starting
believe
back
you.
up at John, thousands of lights, like the stars, like heaven on earth.
Ripley stirs in John's arms, groans, fights to come out of her fugue state, looks around through half-lidded eyes. She is surrounded by rowing cassocked monks. Monks? She closes her eyes, tries to clear the imagine. That's right, that's the sentence.
Oh god, these are not grammatically correct.
Opens. They're still there. She looks down at the bloodied hands around her waist, realizes she's sitting on someone's lap. Looks back over her shoulder. John. He smiles at her, friendly, not sexual.
Like
Frisky.
the Terminator.
Not sexual.
Ripley shakes her head, tries to speak. Her lips form soundless words. She looks over her other shoulder, sees the ship, Ripley point of view, bobbing on the surface, growing small with each stroke of the oars. Ripley, brows knit, fights the cobwebs in her brain, tries to focus on the ship, remembers, turns to John, tries to speak.
Ah, my quesarito.
Wait.
No, that's what she says. I guess.
Oh, my quesarito. Wait.
I'm sorry, I'm about to pass out from laughing.
Like she reaches for the ship, and she's like,
Ah, my quesarito.
Okay.
Did you get Taco Bell out of there? Yeah, we didn't get that girl though.
Look, man, just give me the quesarito.
Wait. And then she falls back conscious.
She loses consciousness. Go to black. Interior, the Abbey. Ripley's room, day. Streaks of light move across the darkness, form patterns of light and shadow across the wooden walls. There's a A sublime stillness, but coming through the walls are the muted, far-off sounds of the abbey. The sawing of wood, hammering, whispered prayers, lilted song. We moved down off the wall to a handmade wooden bed, Ripley in restless sleep. Exterior, Arceon sea, dusk. The water's grown rough with the approach of night.
It's no longer the...
Oh. Dude, we're not in the hallway anymore.
You can hear it from the surface of the plantoid.
Of the plantoid, yes.
You can't hear anything in space, but you can hear these monks chanting like they're just like...
They're broadcasting on all channels.
Hey, they're freaking telepathic.
It's like, hey, I know we're not supposed to be able to hear anything in space, but do you, like, hear chanting? Yeah, chanting.
Do you feel an urge to pray?
No. But I feel an urge to yell at that plantoid for chanting so loud. Hey, let me just roll down the window. Hey! Yeah? Stop chanting! No! Oh, yeah, don't make it come over there! Yeah, come over here. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Pull over. But we have to get there. Pull over. It's hospital supplies. I don't care. Pull over. Sick children are gonna die, man.
This is a 16-wheeler.
This is a 16 rocketer.
Welcome to our Alien 3.
No, it'll be 16 thruster.
Blind read.
No, it's
Yeah,
a
there we
16-wheeler.
Who is the narrator?
Me. Exterior, Arceon, sea, dusk. The water's grown rough with the approach of night. Wind whips across white waved... Hold on.
You good?
Wind whips across white wave tops, sprays the
Holy
dozen monks who
moly.
lash their boats to Ripley's ship with thick hemp ropes. Start to tow it to shore.
Good
Why
job, dude. My God.
Why is...
Holy
Okay,
moly.
this script, why is it broken up like it's a fucking poem?
I
Oh my
don't
gosh.
know. I think it's
Hold
just
on.
not centered right.
Let me read this like it's a
I-
poem. Let me read this.
Read it.
Interior, Ripley's room, night.
No,
Ripley
just do the
is
water.
Ripley is sleeping, but struggling against some unseen foe. She tries to sit up, can't. Tries to shake off the effects of the suspended animation, looks up through half-lidded eyes. John sits next to her, quite asleep.
Jesus, I'm
Hands
a
swathed
pervert.
in white bandages, book resting
No, he's
on his
he's
lap.
trying to be a fucking
She
doctor.
squints to make the figure standing in the shadows behind him. Its skin pricks up and reflects tiny points of flickering Kangle light. Seems to wrinkle as it moves.
Yeah, that Kangle light. I'm gonna be
Kangle
narrating
light.
now. I'm gonna be narrating
gonna-
now.
No, hold on. Because he's doing it like a spoken word poem.
Do you want me to do,
Yeah, there it is.
specifically that bit, the fucking tongue twister as the spoken word poem?
No, it's fine.
I'm all right.
Everyone's
ready?
gonna hate me for how much I'm laughing.
And
Oh, it's fine.
oh, it's fine. All right, ready? The alien, big, black, shiny, smooth head moves into the tapered light. It moves towards her, cable-like arms held out at its side, moving out of sync with its feet. Ripley tries to move, to cry out. She can't.
Wait, is this thing T-posing towards her?
Yeah. It's
Like-
Mecha Shiva.
like it's like,
No, it's Mecha Shiva, dude.
oh,
Mecha Shiva. That's not what happened.
You see, they couldn't afford an animation budget for Alien 3, so it is just T-posing at her.
She can only move her eyes. She looks over at John, sleeping peacefully. He doesn't notice the alien. The alien moves closer. She can feel his breath. It evaporates the sweat on her forehead. A chill runs through her. You just breathed so much Taco Bell into my face. My God.
She
I'm
can
sorry.
feel his breath.
She can feel his breath.
I can feel Matt's.
The alien's breath smells like a taquerito.
wait, is it the alien's breath or John's breath that she can feel?
Well,
the alien's breath.
The alien's breath.
I'm
It
sorry.
evaporates the sweat on her forehead. A chill runs through her, but she still can't move. The alien stands alongside the bed. It extends a six-fingered hand, gently rests it on her stomach, cocks its head, and listens to something. The implication is clear. Ripley finds her voice.
Go ahead, Blake.
Her eyes open wide. She sits bolt upright. A hand moves to her forehead, gently pushes her head back to the pillow. It's John's.
You're out of it? Out of it.
Ripley falls back, eyes glued to where the alien appeared. John sees her focal point, looks back over his shoulder. Nothing. Ripley's eyes roll back into her head. She tries to speak. It was there. Her hand, at her side, tightens into a fist. John's hand covers hers, eases the fingers open again. She feels the coarse bandages against her palm. He starts to read quietly from St. Augustine's Confessions.
I'm trying to put her back to sleep.
Who are you reading like?
I went into Shatner for a little bit.
So I'm guessing you know what those are.
Yes, St. Augustine's Confessions was an early church writing.
Was
So
it good?
that's why he's a heretic.
Well, no, actually, St. Augustine is Orthodox.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so he is a heretic.
No, not like the Orthodox Church. I mean, like,
Oh.
he's viewed to be in line.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Like, it sort of set the basis for a lot of dogma. We could get into that later.
She begins to drowse again, and as his soft voice flows over her, like waves lapping against the shore. Exterior, Sergus of Arceon, day.
Circus.
Yes, the Sergus of Arceon.
This is one hella first draft, man.
I can't help but read that like Sergius. Like Sergius.
I am Sir Jas.
When was this
Or it's
movie
like
released?
Sergius. Like as a title.
This
like,
movie
it's
was
the
released in
Sergius.
1992,
I am Sergius.
if I'm not mistaken.
And the script we have is 1990.
Fight me if you dare.
Okay. I am the most powerful fighter you have ever seen.
Yeah, Alien
Sergus
Alien
fucking
3
was
started
the
shooting
captain
without a
of the
finished
movie.
script.
Wow.
Yeah, and like people would show up to set and not know when they were going to be
Sergius,
killed.
Or is it Sergius?
Huh.
Well, it depends.
Now they
really,
just
how-
do that
how you
because
wanna do it,
everyone's
but,
so
Sergius
uptight
is
about
not
spoilers
Hmm
Yeah, Sergius.
and don't like treating their actors like people, I guess.
Yeah.
What? Actors aren't people.
Well, of course, but
They're all robots. Like, we all know this.
I am Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
I am here to read for the podcast. It is me, Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp,
You
get
may
the fuck
know
out of
me.
here. We don't want
You
you.
may
Johnny
know-
Depp. Fucking monster.
Johnny Depp, you have to.
I
What
am
about
not-
our sponsor?
I am not a monster.
Sponsor.
You have beaten so many women.
Go see Edward Scissorhands.
No.
In
Wait.
theaters,
Johnny, we don't have a budget for this.
go see Rango.
Johnny,
Please don't kill our
Johnny-
production.
Rango is a good movie.
Johnny,
It is-
tell us about our sponsors.
Our sponsor is my new movie, Fantastic Beasts 2, where I stopped the Holocaust.
That's not a joke, though. That's actually a plot point in the movie where they try to stop World War II.
Why?
I don't know why Harry Potter needed World War II and the Holocaust to make it more interesting. You have magic. Why do you need real life depressing shit?
Why do they need to like?
I mean, let me say this. I find it kind of interesting that they would bring up that point, because what would be the fucking role of wizards if a world war were to come up?
To masquerade as not existing.
Yeah, I mean
Apparently.
they don't.
But
do
just
anything.
ignore it, I guess.
They don't
Yeah,
do
they
anything.
pretty much
Aren't
do.
aren't they inherently bad people then too?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
terrible people then.
Look, it's like this. Harry Potter works because it doesn't address the Muggle world too often. We leave the Muggle world and we go to the secret wizard world. At that point, we stop caring. But like we have to remember, fucking Harry Potter canonically takes place, like the last books take place around 9/11.
Yeah.
Like
And like
They
knowing that info, like Deathly Hallows is going on, but like 9/11's like days away. Like
So what
what
we
happened like 2 days ago.
it's like, oh my god, that's crazy.
So what we can infer from this is that the minions have very much better lore because they just have an explanation for why this doesn't happen.
They had an explanation for why they weren't involved with World War II. They went to Antarctica after they killed Napoleon and felt bad about it. So good on them for writing a reason to not deal with World War II.
Like, for
because
not having to deal
people-
with Hitler, because people would ask that.
People were
question.
already asking when the trailer dropped. They're like, where were the minions in World War II?
In Antarctica, asleep.
In Antarctica, not dealing with it. Harry Potter's like, you know what? Let's just throw World War II in it. And they're like, Why?
And like the reason that it normally works is because like the wizards just live in a parallel world. They don't concern themselves at all. They just hide away.
I would have been fine if they were just like, oh hey, World War II's happening.
Why didn't we stop the first one?
Why didn't we stop the first one?
Well, this one's gonna be worse. That's why there's a 2 after it.
Could you
so
really stop the first one? Would it
You
really
really
have been
couldn't.
possible?
I mean,
You could try.
you could postpone it.
You could definitely postpone it.
You give it a rain check.
No, you could have
very nearly did because the guy was about to give up after failing to shoot Archduke Ferdinand the first time.
Okay, here's the thing. It would have happened eventually anyway. Some other schmuck would have shot that guy.
True.
The Balkans were just waiting to explode.
Yeah. We
Oh
also
no, my
had
Discord's going off. I gotta turn my
Oh my
Discord
god,
off.
44?
Where are we
Jesus
at, by the way?
Christ.
Anyway, moving on.
The circus.
Anyway, the Circus of
Oh
Arceon.
man, we got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Come see my new movie at Harry Potter, The Wizarding World. Cool.
Come see my new movie, Harry Potter and the
Fantastic-
Legend of Circus.
Come see my new movie, Fantastic Beasts 3. More shit. In theaters
The
now.
Crimes of Grindelwald.
I hope J.K.
The crimes
Rowling
of writing
doesn't
this
turn me
script.
gay.
The crimes of
The crimes of
Spindle
elongated
Falls.
franchise.
yes.
So you were narrating, Max?
I was narrating.
Yeah, Matt was narrating.
How many minutes are we in?
I don't
It's
know.
11:34, and we started at like 10.
No, I just want to know. And also,
We're like
check-
an hour in.
Check. Okay, just I want.
No, it's still going.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me.
Wanna make
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
A howling dust storm is kicked up. The monks wear small round goggles, have rags tied over their noses, as they work at a huge block and tackle arrangement.
Hundreds of ropes.
Hundreds of ropes grow taut. Timbers groan. They lift Ripley's ship, swing it over a large portal. I'm sorry, I'm burping, and I don't want to burp in your face.
Interior Ripley's room day.
Ripley lays with eyes closed. Muffled voices outside the door.
How is the woman, John?
I don't think she's here yet. At the sound of John's voice, the slightest smile plays across Ripley's sleeping lips. She is close, though.
As they continue talking, Ripley wakes, opens her eyes, rolls over onto her side. There is a window right next to the bed. Ripley lifts herself up on one elbow, looks out. Her point of view, a garden of earthly delights, monks laboring under a beautiful celestial blue sky, picking apples, fishing on the water on small inland lakes, working with hammer and saw on small wooden cottages, lyrical. It makes her feel good.
Hot
She
damn, it's
scans the
beautiful.
countryside. Sheep graze around wooden ladders stretching hundreds of feet
Damn, I love
up to
it
the...
here.
Ripley does a double take.
I love
Workers on a
planetoids.
scaffolding? With crude brushes at the end of poles, they paint the sky blue. The abbey, the cottages, the fields outside of her window are all on one level inside the planet.
This planet is just really confusing. Like,
Don't worry,
It's fucking Hollow Earth, except
it's...
not.
I feel like the idea of it is really good, but I feel like it's a little too out there. I feel like it's a little too ungrounded in the alien universe.
like if they
That's
made,
why they made it a mine.
like if they were living
A mine with
underground
prisoners
on
that
like an
became
alien planet.
religious gangbang gone prisoner gangbang gone religious.
I mean,
Like
how would you have even shown this?
that's Alien 3.
Yeah, I know.
Prison gangbang gone religious. Like
The vaulted ceiling painted to God damn it, now I'm just imagining like you know that picture of like the
Vaulted ceiling
the,
painted to look like the
teenage
sky.
like the almost teenage girl surrounded by like a bunch of shirtless smiling
Oh,
black guys.
it's just like Ripley with all the dudes.
I hope you can Photoshop
And there's like a
you
YouTuber
can
like
do that.
like, oh no! And there's like a red circle in the background somewhere. What? And like WTF in huge white letters.
Yeah.
That's the thumbnail. Like,
Congratulations, you just made the thumbnail. Hope you have Photoshop.
I don't need Photoshop for that garbage.
Well, I hope you figured out a way to make it. Anyway,
The vaunted ceiling.
painted to look like the sky with huge glass windows to allow the sunlight in is actually the underside of the planetoid's outer shell. Ripley looks back at the monks on the ground. Instead of repairing, they are taking the cabins apart, stacking the wood into push carts.
What the hell?
Suddenly, the Sulaco ship appears in front of her. Swings past the window, suspended by ropes.
He just powers through it.
In front of.
The Siliqua ship appears in front of her, swings past her window, suspended by ropes, then disappears up, out of sight. Ripley checks her pulse.
This must be a dream. A bad one.
She rolls back onto the bed, stares up at the ceiling. Above her, on the roof of the Abbey, monks scurry around the ship as it is lowered into place on a flat area of the roof of the library. It seats with a steeply resounding thud. Ripley hears the sound and then another, her door opening. She turns to find the abbot and John standing in the doorway. John waits in the doorway as the abbot crosses to the chair by the bed and sits.
Who are you?
I am the abbot, leader of this colony. And you?
He smiles, open, friendly.
Ripley, how did I get here?
Your vehicle crash landed. Indicates John. Brother John found you and brought you here.
Where is here?
This is the Minorite Abbey within the man-made orbiter Arceon.
Can I use a radio to...
We have no radio here. We are a monastic order that has renounced all modern technology. We live the old way, the pure way.
Planet Amish? Like, jeez.
No. And it's like, in the man-made orbiter Arceon, we dwell, living with no technology. How?
It's an Amish planet.
Planet Amish.
Yeah, they just, you know how they build bars? They just made their own planet this time.
Guys,
Going for the planet racing, the midnight planet racing.
It's a good barn, Jeremiah. It's a good planet, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
You gotta raise up the
It's
sky.
just like in space.
guys. Let's have an alien movie, but with Amish people.
They get fucking slaughtered. Absolutely
What's
destroyed.
just about to happen?
They just believe it's God, like, coming to punish them for looking at a car.
I think they...
That's rude. How are they ever gonna know? How are they gonna know I said that?
Yeah, but you know...
How are they gonna know I said that?
Yeah,
You
but...
know there's like Rumspringa and stuff, right?
What?
Like the 3-day or that week period that they're allowed to go out of their...
And they're gonna go on YouTube and be like, I want to learn about the Alien 3 script that was never made, and go on YouTube.
I
that's
mean, they
actually
might...
a common misconception. Rumspringa is, according to the Amish, a sacred sort of like coming-of-age ceremony, which may include access to the outside world that they do not normally get, because they're not fully members of the Amish community until they fully complete the Rumspringa. But it may not actually allow them to go out and, you know...
Depending on the Amish. Yes. I
Yes.
know.
Sorry.
Asshole. It's like,
actually...
Actually.
hold on,
She shakes her head.
No one's gonna be able to see you put your glasses on.
It's for the bit.
There's no bit if it's all audio.
Actually, there is a bit, even if it's all audio, because
Why did
this
you
is my focusing tool.
My actual question is, why did you correct me on something? You didn't even correct me on it. You just added to it.
Yeah.
And you still actually me. I don't get it.
She shakes her
I'm
head.
awful.
She shakes her head.
She shakes her head.
I still don't feel 100%. Whoever took me out of the stasis tube must not have run the full DF program. Where's Newt?
The abbot looks at her blankly.
There was a little girl with me.
You were alone.
No, she was with me. I put her in the stasis tube. We launched when the...
You were the only one found living aboard that vessel.
The abbot watches Ripley as a terrible truth overcomes her.
Oh, God. Newt.
She stops, gets that chill up her spine. She realizes that she must have brought the alien with her.
It came with us.
The abbot leans in.
What came with you?
Listen, there's danger here. It came with me. How long have I been here?
Almost 2 days.
Don't...
It's not that bad, actually.
Really? Okay.
Oh, no, that's really bad. But
Calculates. Loose for 2 days. This planet could be overrun within a week.
Ripley grabs the abbot by his cassock.
Look, there's a xenomorph. Sees his confusion. An alien creature, a killer, a monster, and now it's here.
The abbot looks at her the way you look at the guy on the corner of Santa Monica and 3rd who's babbing about Judgment Day.
Holy shit.
Wow,
That's
that's
a
personal.
specific
Like
personal thing.
Do you think like he walks past this guy every day, like
He
while he was
must.
writing this?
the guy with his pants down around his nest.
His nest, yes, his nest, not his
nest.
knees.
She sees this, releases her hold on him.
Calm down, Ripley. Okay, I was with a platoon of colonial marines on a mission to the planetoid LV-426. We left Earth 6 months ago, maybe a year.
Wait a moment.
The abbot becomes aware of John's presence in the doorway, turns over his shoulder at him.
Leave us.
No.
John waits.
Bitch, please.
John waits there a beat, then backs out and closes the door.
Continue.
We launched the cruiser Sulaco.
Sulaco.
Yeah, I know. I just fucking couldn't do it. Cruiser Sulaco from the Gateway suborbital space station.
Not possible.
What do you mean?
When we left Earth 70 years ago, it was on the brink of a new dark age. Technology was on the verge of destroying the planet's environment. A computer virus was threatening to wipe away all recorded knowledge. There did not seem to be any way it could be averted. In the almost 40 years since we were towed out here in hypersleep, the news that came with occasional supply ships only got worse. Finally, the ships stopped coming. We had to resign ourselves to the fact that the worst had come to pass, and the Earth no longer existed.
What the hell?
Okay, welcome
I'm
to
sorry.
Welcome to Alien 3 Apocalypse Now edition.
My God, that's not possible, dude. Earth's gone.
What?
Excuse me.
Earth's been gone for like 40 years.
Yeah, dog. When I was like 2, that bitch gone. Like
Now she gives him a
It
look.
could just be that Earth abandoned these guys.
Earth
Yeah,
fucked
probably
off.
what
Like
happened.
they probably forgot about them.
That's probably what. Knowing Wayland Yutani, that's probably what happened.
Probably what happened, but also it might be like trying to push a
Yeah,
script.
they were getting
whereas, like, the
sued.
world
They
destroyed
started
itself.
shoveling files into the burner. This planet just got lost.
They probably were like in the midst of a giant.
Wayland
lawsuit.
Yutani's like, yeah, dude, the Earth's like going like to hell in a handbasket, dog. Like, we're gone. It's gone, dude.
Or maybe
It's
it even
just
wasn't
dead.
that bad. They just faked the computer virus to get out of a bunch of lawsuits.
You know what's really weird? So, in the unused ending for the, God forbid, Alien 4,
Alien Resurrection?
yeah, in the unused ending when they get to Earth, it's destroyed. It's completely dead.
So
But there's still like a shit ton of like other planets and stuff going on.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
So it might be just Earth.
It might-
Also, there's that whole moon thing that she was in Aliens. So
yeah.
All right. Forget the Earth. How many people do you have here? Let's worry about them. Warn them.
a new look overtakes the abbot's face, a look of fear. Now she's getting to him, or is she? He abruptly stands.
Your mind is troubled. You need to rest some more.
I don't need rest. I need to get to your people. You have to get them and tell them about the alien.
He heads for the door.
I had enough for now.
Enough? Didn't you hear what I said? It could wipe out an entire population of this planet. It may have started that already. Have there been any unusual deaths since I've gotten here?
The abbot stops in the door.
No. And there won't be.
The abbot slams the door behind him. The corridor outside Ripley's room, day. John stands nearby as the abbot addresses two burly monks. Oh.
I am Meatlit. This is Mom.
Beefacus, Monkacus,
Beefacus and Meatlit.
Beefacus and Cacus.
Cacus? Who's Cacus?
Beefcake. Because they move in pairs, I'm assuming.
There's just like these two burly monks that are always like next to each other, like boom.
Gunter and Gunter.
Which one's Gunter?
They're both
All right.
Gunter.
No, but
Yeah.
which one's Gunter?
Yeah.
There we go.
Gunta?
It's just barely pronounced
Differently.
Bolt it!
The guards move to bolt the door.
What is it? What's wrong?
Your patient is in a dangerous mental state. Nobody gets in or out until I say so.
But her meals.
Nobody!
Father, I don't understand.
The abbot turns. Were you about to move to slap?
No, it's like grabbing my fucking non-existent cape and
Throw him in there too.
You looked like you were winding up to put sucker punch.
Do it, you bitch, you won't.
The abbot
No, he
turns.
leaves that to the two burly monks.
The abbot turns and disappears down the hall. John looks from the departing abbot to the two guard monks. The library, night.
Looks like we're gonna have a fucking fight on our hands. Hey boys, make sure he doesn't cheat. And they just hold him fucking down. Well, you heard the boss. He starts beating the shit out of this guy.
John has his
hold his head in place.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew, hold his legs down.
John has his head buried in his hands. His back rises and falls with the rhythmic breathing of sleep. Matthias curled up on his feet, asleep as well. Did I ask?
No.
Matthias.
Wham! The library door. Oh, Wham's here. Cool. Wham! The library door flies open. John sits bolt upright. A hysterical monk bursts in, rushes to John's table.
Who's gonna be hysterical monk?
Historical monk.
I'll be the hysterical monk. Unless you know what, Blake hasn't got enough characters.
I'll be a historical.
Blake's
monk.
Ripley.
True.
Yeah, but he's only got one character so far.
Ripley's the star of Alien. But that's fair.
Brother John, you're here. The abbot said I'd need you're the medic.
What?
It's not very hysterical, Blake.
Yeah, dude.
No, I said historical.
do hysterical.
It says hysterical. I said historical.
I know, you're the narrator.
Wouldn't that mean that this monk would have to be a woman?
No.
Because hysterical.
No.
What are you talking about?
What?
That's a history joke.
Oh.
None of us are history majors here except
Look,
you.
It's lost that connotation.
Well, yeah. I thought I told you guys about this. And therefore you would get
How
it.
women were almost always diagnosed with hysteria,
Yes.
and then just given meth or something to keep them pacified.
Here's some ketamine. Go have fun.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I
There'd
mean,
be
yes, that's
there'd-
medical history.
There'd be surgeries to
All right,
remove
fine.
stuff.
Well, let's go back to hysterical, I guess. Brother John, you're here. The abbot said I'd need you're the medic.
What?
All right, John, you bitch.
What?
What?
My Sandy, she's ill.
A woman?
That's you.
Oh, Sandy, my you.
Yeah.
I was really confused.
It's like 3 words. I'm like,
Yeah, Sandy, my you. It's a you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
One of your sheep. Jesus Christ! Call a vet!
For those of you listening, Richard just crossed himself.
It was pretty great. I'm not gonna lie.
Father Ansem was the vet.
John looks under his arms at Matthias. The dog just stares at him.
You're no help. Okay, let me get my bag. All creatures great and small.
Interior, hysterical monk's barn. Night. There's so much on this thing.
Wait,
Small.
Wait, are these monks named like it's like Smurfs, like hysterical monk, sassy monk,
It's
Burly
like
monk.
burly monk?
guard
Beefcake.
monk. it's like Outer Heaven, where you just give him what is it, something, a color and an animal.
Yeah.
Green rooster,
Yeah, it's straight up.
orange peacock,
It's hilarious.
blue lion.
And those all probably have deep symbolic meaning to them.
Well, except when you get to the first Metal Gear game, it's gunman, shoot boy. It's have you just given up? There's so many people here.
So should I go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just gave her dinner. Now she's keeled over.
Oh, we missed the narration.
Oh,
up to
a
that
small
point.
structure. A small structure housing a handful of sheep and a few chickens in wire cages. The wooden walls.
Wow.
Waltz.
are full of gaps where boards have been ripped off. The hysterical monk holds a torch to illuminate the scene. One of his sheep is laying on its side.
I just gave her dinner and she's just keeled over.
So would I. It's freezing in here.
Been using the wood from the walls. The walls. For the fire in my cabin. There was a page break.
Haven't we all?
John kneels at the ewe. She's breathing heavy, rapidly. John puts his left hand down on the hay-covered floor while he checks the animal's neck pulse with his right hand. She gives a weak
Maybe pneumonia. Pitch some of that hay around her. Stop this damn cold breeze.
The hysterical monk props the torch up in an empty bucket.
How's there wind in here?
And retrieves
worry
a
about
crude
it.
iron pitch. It's coming off the sea, dude. And retrieves a crude iron pitchfork from the wall. It's coming off the ocean, dog.
No, you see, this orbit, this planetoid is like spinning super rapidly.
I don't know what's going on.
How's there breeze? What? Like
Retrieves a crude iron pitchfork from the wall. Starts to pile hay around the fallen animal.
First, oh.
He sits up to reach for his back, then stops when he sees what's on his left hand. A slimy, mucus-like substance.
Wait a minute.
The hysterical monk stops mid-pitch. John rubs the material between his fingers, brings it close to his nose, sniffs.
What is it?
I don't know. It's all over the ground. Some sort of...
Do you want to do the bar noise, Max? The ewe starts to shake, quiver. John tries to hold it down. The hysterical monk at his juncture goes completely apeshit. It's just in there.
Actually in there. Just goes at this juncture. He went completely apeshit.
What? Jesus, help me!
The ewe is shaking so violently that John is thrown back. He knocks over the bucket. The torch falls into the hay. This whole thing's gonna go up in smoke, man. This whole planet's made of wood.
Everything.
It's probably dry as hell, too.
Honestly, that's probably for the best at this point.
There's too many questions about this. We just gotta burn it all. Like, I'm sick of this.
Is that why we have the wooden planet? Is that the idea? They're gonna burn the planet?
It's gonna burn, and it's gonna be like Wayland Yutani's been, like, secretly there the whole time. He knocks over the bucket. The torch falls into the hay. The light is cut off as the torch almost smothers. Then the hay starts to burn. Weak firelight revealing... Oh my god. Ugh. The ewe explodes. Stomach bursts, spraying the two monks with entrails and blood. They start screaming.
Where's the third one coming from?
You just heard them screaming, so he's joining you. Like howling. Yeah, like, so monks are like wolves. When they hear loud vocalizations from one of their own kind, they must respond. So, however, with monks, it's screaming.
Well, only plantoid monks.
Yes, only plantoid monks.
Obviously.
Only that subspecies.
I'm just imagining just
Orthodox monks respond to Greek chanting, and Catholic monks respond to Latin chanting.
I thought Catholic monks just respond to shame.
I mean, yeah.
Shame.
Just respond to the general shame that comes with being Catholic.
Yeah.
The unavoidable, eternal shame.
I mean, that's what I get for being born, man.
How dare you? Anyway.
Firelight
Grows as a terrible alien chestburster bursts out of the jerking and twitching carcass. It shows the characteristics of the animal in which it has gestated. Tiny razor-sharp teeth and black glass-like eyes peer from an elongated head covered with downy but gore-matted wool.
Fuck this! That's stupid!
Is this a fucking sheep?
A quadruped. It's shrunked. Shrunken hind legs struggle to free itself from the cooling morass.
No, Matt, it said shrunked.
Shrunk.
It's
Sure.
shrunk.
Oh, it also said elongated itself from the cooling morass of intestines. John can only scream as the most horrible nightmare he can imagine tries to slough off the animal's mortal coil. The hysterical monk, fear overcome with anger,
What?
At the loss of his beloved, I'm just gonna keep going. At the loss of his beloved Sandy, steps in front of the near catatonic medic and instinctively thrusts his pitchfork into the creature. The sharp prongs pierce its still forming body. Does he just kill it outright? That'd be hilarious.
That fucking.
The creature wails a high-pitched shriek, half alien, half sheep, as it's roughly torn from its nesting place. The monk lifts. It twists at the end of the fork, acid blood dripping into the wooden floor. Nice job, idiot. Each drop bursting into a little pool of fire. Oh my god!
again.
The historical monk turns to the now raging hayfire. The entire corner of the barn is ablaze. Shoves the abomination in. The sheep alien pops and sizzles as tongues of flame leap up to lap at its struggling body. Tiny tail whipping about. The creature dies.
As
Its
it
fading
should.
screams are soon the only sound heard within the barn.
You fucking yeeted
The
this thing.
hysterical monk holds his fork in the flame as he looks back to check on John. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
What?
What just
This man has killed more aliens than half of the fucking.
A lot
crew.
happened in half a page.
Okay, so first of all, this alien hatches,
So that would
and
have
it
been
looks like
30 minutes
it's a
of screen
sheep.
time.
It's a
or 30
sheep
seconds
alien.
of screen time.
She
Yeah.
has wool. Does this mean that, like, do you think, like, if the alien burst into the sheep, it would just, like, calmly munch on grass?
I'm thinking.
No.
No, it'd definitely be a predator still, but I'm thinking that afterwards it could be domesticated somehow eventually.
Yeah, you could get wool from it if you're very brave.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it's just gonna die if you don't
It can
shear
shear
it.
itself! Because it's got the sharp tail!
Oh,
Oh my
my
God.
It's so.
It's self-efficient. It's gonna make its own sweater company. Well, too bad it's dead, but
Grandma stuffing xenomorph.
You know how flammable that thing was with his wool? Jesus Christ.
Grandma Xenos.
Grandma Zeno's professional sweaters is just like a bunch of aliens like.
So I'm gonna change to the narrator now.
Okay.
John, the face contorted, eyes glued to the burning creature, heaving lungs pushing air through his diaphragm, but no sound comes from his open mouth. The doctor in training has seen the devil. Exterior, hysterical monk's barn, night. Wooden walls collapse inward as the building becomes a pyre. Acrid black smoke curls up to the ceiling and spreads across the rafters. We pull back from the site into a window, into Ripley's room, night. Ripley watches the burning barn, frustrated. She climbs out of the bed on unsteady legs, wearing her tank top and shorts. She pulls on the coarse woolen cassock.
Woolen.
Woolen.
Wallen.
Wallen? Yeah.
Woolen.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, it was Wallen. Pulls on the coarse Wallen's cassock and ties the rope belt. Idiots! Ow! Wham! The door bursts open. What the? 4 burly monks rush in to grab her.
The abbot sent us to come get you, girly, so come along quiet.
It's like that scene in Haunted Stranger when the dudes from Jersey come in to feed him his clam chowder.
They tear her out of the bed.
It's a period piece until that moment.
They tear her out of the bed. Interior hallway night. Ripley is dragged down the darkened hallway. Abbott
Voiceover.
the over. Yeah.
An evil has come to us, Jan.
The tribunal room night. As he continues to move down a row of stern monk faces ending at the abbot's.
You heard Brother Graham tell of the devil inside sheep's wool.
He motions towards the hysterical monk sitting in the crowd.
An evil brought by this woman in her vessel of technology.
Is he just gonna execute her or something? Pull back to the reveal. A large circular room with wooden walls stretching 30 feet high. Light creeps in through stained glass windows. Hundreds of monks sit quietly in the gallery that looms over the floor of the tribunal. On the floor, the abbot and 5 eldest monks sit at a long table, facing a witness stand. On the stand, Ripley considers the faces surrounding her. Fear. Hate. This can't... Oh. I was just going to continue.
Okay.
This can't be happening.
You have no voice in this tribunal.
That's
You
a
might-
good voice.
That is
I'm
a good
jealous.
voice. That's better than the one
I was gonna do something. Yeah.
You must listen to me. You're all in terrible danger. It came with me on the ship.
We know that. At first, we believed its arrival was a good omen, but it's only brought pestilence. dead sheep, dead fish. Evil.
Ripley turns to the abbot. Yes, the ship brought it. Not evil. It brought the alien. I told you, it's here.
We know the name of the evil it brought. It brought technology. Technology to destroy our planet. As surely as it destroyed the Earth.
Destruction!
I was on the Earth less than a year ago. It's still there. People, cities, all still there. A murmur through the crowd. Some are listening to her. The abbot looks around. He must be in command.
All dead.
It's still there! She screams. The abbot smiles to himself for making her crack. He stands and begins to pace.
You could not have been on the Earth a year ago, because there is no Earth to be on for at least 20 years.
I haven't been floating in space for 20 years. Let me get to my ship and I'll prove it.
No. Who knows what new evils she'll release if allowed back into that infernal machine.
No, don't let her!
This woman is a danger. She denies the Dark Age. She denies reality.
This is reality. There's a xenomorph loose on a planetoid, an alien. It must have stowed away on my ship, and it must have killed Newt. Killed the girl that I brought with me. You can't stop it. It goes inside you like an egg and grows. She minds this. I don't know how, but
And
explodes
grows.
and
Like,
it
like this. Like grows.
But it, wait for this, and explodes out of you. Keeps growing into some sort of monster, kills you, and it kills all of you. She looks at the medieval people around her. They stare at her in complete confusion. To them, she sounds like a madwoman. Who are you people? Look at you, all of you. The way you're dressed. This isn't the Middle Ages. You're in space, on an artificial planet. What are you doing out here? There, in the upper tier, John. They make eye contact. Sexy eye contact. She looks at him.
Frisky
pleadingly.
eye contact. She
Yeah.
looks at him
Pleadingly.
friskily.
Like, she looks at him in a way that, like, he understands to be her groping at his crotch. Like, right now.
She
They
she
bang
looks
via
at
their
him
eyes.
and reconfirms the fact that, yeah, don't worry, Hicks is really dead. You might have to worry about Bishop, though.
She gives him the bedroom eyes like 3 times. Isn't there still anyone here who will listen to me? John looks from Ripley to Abbott. The Abbott stares him down. John turns away. His boner was killed. Ripley, defeated. I guess not. I can't believe this. The
I
gavel
mean-
bangs.
That tends to be what abbots do. They killed a boner in the entire monastery.
Yeah.
True.
The Abbott sits in a moment of contemplation.
Then there is no choice.
The 4 monks grab Ripley roughly and bind her arms.
The evil is inside of you. I cast you down to be sealed away, and God have mercy on your soul.
This Abbott knows about technology, but he's fucking stupid.
Yeah, like,
No, I don't think he's stupid.
Slam
I-
cut.
He knows something.
I think it's like he knows that she's brought something with her, but at the same time he's probably just in denial. He just doesn't want to accept the idea that the Earth may still be
No,
out
dude.
there.
Dude, I got it.
I think he knows that the Earth's still there.
I think he knows it's there. I think he works for the company.
He might. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That'd be really dope. Not
Ooh.
gonna lie, that'd be really dope.
Like he just got a secret transmission from Wayland Yutani, like,
But
Xenomorph heading your way. We made sure the launch of the Suleika will hit here.
yeah.
Incubate a few, bring them in. Send
Yeah,
them back.
dude.
Oh, okay.
It's like when they send Bishop Prime to the prison planet.
If it's not that, this man's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the shaft room.
Slam cut to the
I don't-
shaft room.
Slam cut to the shaft.
In a
Who's
medieval.
the mean motherfucker?
in a,
Who's a bad mother? Shut your mouth. I'm just talking about shaft. Shaft.
Remember that one Family Guy bit where Brian wrote like a play, but it was Taft?
That was a pretty good bit. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty decent episode too.
God.
a medieval era elevator shaft. The elevator is a wooden cage lowered on a thick, rough-hewn rope. Ripley, bound, is led to it. She looks back at the monks who have gathered at the door.
Wait a minute.
Hmm.
The monks were making glass earlier.
Yep.
Where are they getting the sand for that?
On the beach.
From the wood.
From the beach.
What beach?
The beach on the sea. Remember?
There's not enough sand there. They've been making like.
Maybe that's
they
why this script
recycle
wasn't.
it.
Maybe that's why they didn't make this movie.
I mean, I don't really get this society either, because what are they going to fucking eat on a planet made of wood?
The plants. It's a plantoid.
It's a plantoid, but it's
Well, they're not gonna
I
eat
mean-
sheep or fish anymore. They're all dead.
Yeah, they're definitely dead though.
Maybe they brought dirt with them.
I don't know. I like that they made it a prison planet where all the prisoners are like, you know what? Fuck it.
All
We'll just
right.
Stay here.
You won't be able to fight it. You don't even know what it is. She's put into a cage, and the door is secured. 2 monks begin to pull on the ropes. The cage is lifted out over the abyss, a vast, cavernous space. The other monks move closer. They crowd around the edge. John pushes through them, right to the edge, and watches as the cage is slowly lowered down. Ripley looks directly at John.
She winks saucily.
You've scented yourself to death, and also why won't you bang me, John?
Why are
There's
they like?
doors in the
I don't know
way.
why I'm shipping them.
Why they like have like little? There's no tension sexually at all between these two,
Oh,
and we're
we're
just
doing,
like
we're doing it. We're making them have sexual tension.
in
for
the
some
worst
reason.
spot. She's like, "You've sentenced yourselves to death."
like Ripley.
She's horny, man.
Clearly, Ripley secretly has a thing for like corrupting men of the Lord.
Did you know that originally?
It's like banging a nun, but in reverse.
I'm sorry to whoever finds this offensive at all.
Which
you
is
know that,
probably a lot of people.
in the original cut of Alien, Dallas and Ripley were supposed to be like madly in love. I'm talking like middle schoolers kissing outside like chem class.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they cut it out because they're like, this is stupid.
Well,
But then they put it in Prometheus, and we're all like,
what?
yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
Because
I like Prometheus though. It's really out
we're
there.
doing the
My
thing that
hand's so itchy.
we're doing the thing that Hollywood does which it shoehorns in fucking romance into places where it shouldn't be.
We're being
but
the
we're
studio.
doing it as a comedy.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, John watches as she disappears into the darkness, and then turns and pushes his way through the crowd. Again. He goes down the hall to the tribunal room. Empty now, except for the abbot and the tribunal members. They speak in hushed tones, and John appears in the doorway. And he pauses, strains to hear what they're saying.
They'll have started before she gets down to the hermitage level.
Sorry.
Abbott, are you okay?
No.
I'm just checking out my iPhone. Wait, I mean, my wooden slate.
I'm just not. And like he's putting away like one of those big like 90s cell phones with Wayland Yutani on it. Nothing. No trouble. No trouble.
Only finding wood for the ship. But Anderson's hut was about that big, and he's dead 3 months now.
I had that wood earmarked for the cloister next winter. Wait, hold on. Fucking winter?
There's season.
Why are there seasons?
How? Why?
Come on.
Max is like really upset about this, as he should be. Like,
I get it, but just
Well-
keep going. It's not a perfect script.
We might not get to the winter if we don't take care of this. The winter that we have on this fucking planetoid. For
I
some
just
reason.
hope fall's really
Don't
nice.
question, don't question the axial tilt that Wayland Yutani decided to give to us.
The wood isn't going to last forever.
By winter time, we can start taking the penitent cells apart. No one in them.
Oh, you weren't done yet.
Yeah, I wasn't. No.
No, you just fucking had his meltdown.
You stopped like you were done though. My bad.
No, I stopped because I was stunned.
The wood isn't going to last forever.
Neither are we.
He becomes aware of John's presence and motions to the other tribunal members out of the room. John moves to the abbot. The abbot knows what's coming. He winks. Now there's sexual attention between them.
The abbot knows what's coming. Go ahead.
This woman, Ripley, I tended to her.
Yes, and you did a good job. You shouldn't feel responsible. You couldn't have known.
Sir, please let me finish. I feel that there may be something to what she says.
There isn't.
The abbot moves to his table and begins to gather up his gavel, notebook, and John follows him.
I don't understand what you're doing.
This colony is my responsibility. I am protecting the colony.
From what? This woman? You never gave her a chance.
Neighbor!
You never gave her a chance.
You never gave her a chance.
How can you be so sure you're right?
This is the character now!
How can you be so sure you're right?
A better question is what makes you think I'm wrong?
You didn't see this thing, this demon. Brother Graham and I, we both saw it.
That's right. You both did. And what was it?
I don't know what it was, but I don't think Ripley was a party to it.
She admits she brought it.
But she tried to warn us.
You know how that's how the devil works. Deception.
But I
She
believe...
deceived us.
She
with
deceived
her
us by
false-
telling us truth!
by telling us exactly what would happen.
The truth is deception!
She pulled the oldest trick in the book, using the truth as a lie.
Using the truth to make us look like idiots when it happens.
But I believe her.
But I believe her. I don't know how to describe it. A feeling.
You haven't seen a woman in 30 years. Where does this feeling originate, John?
Your loins?
Points to his head. Here.
Your
Okay,
That's
loins?
which head?
stupid. That's so stupid. I hate that. That's really dumb.
I point to my brain.
Points,
Like, ooh, here.
Point-
Shut up.
points to his head. Here.
The tip of his penis.
Yes,
Pause.
I believe you. But your feelings are fooling you.
It's her conviction. I just think...
The abbot snaps at him.
Don't think! Oh my gosh.
Alright, the abbot has issues with thinking. John takes a step back at the abbot's tone. A tone he's never heard before. The abbot runs a hand through his thinning hair, and he forces a smile.
It's been a long night for all of us. You really don't understand what you're dealing with here.
That's what she said.
Ooh, good one.
The abbot chafes.
Wait.
These are ideas which threaten the very system we live under. The creature is dead, and the woman is gone. Forget them, both. Go read, go fishing, go anywhere. But leave this alone.
But
Alone! I'll get Philip to let Matthias into the library, all right? For your own good, just stay out of this.
John looks like he's going to protest.
I mean it.
Yes, Father.
Oh my god, it's his dad?
No.
I know! We've been talking about monks for the past, 2 hours. Of course I know that. I'm just...
I know.
You looked at me,
I know
Max.
you know.
You looked at me like you were pissed at me, thinking I didn't...
No, because it was such a bad joke.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah,
mad at me
we
that
knew
I
you
didn't.
We
knew.
fucking
Okay.
shot you down
Yeah.
immediately.
It was awful, is what it was. God, why am I so fucking itchy?
Because you're thinking about the winter on this wooden planet.
Maybe that's why.
Are you actually alright?
I don't know. I'm itchy in a lot of places, especially the palms of my hands.
Maybe you're just sweaty, dude.
Maybe
Okay.
I am.
John turns and leaves the room. The abbot stares after him, saucily.
I'll be right back.
Well, no, come back, John!
I looked ahead. There's no John for a while.
Interior prison level, night. Dark, dank, and dreary. A nail is hammering into a board, then another. The board is old, twisted, the grain is pronounced and splintered. Another board is lifted into place, a nail held. Bam, 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 it's hammered in tight. 2 ancient workers. They're wearing drab, torn gray clothing. They hammer the boards over the opening in the wall, methodically covering it up. Ripley, watching them work. Bam, bam, bam. She feels defeated. On the roof of the abbey, intercut. A dozen monks frantically hammer planks up around the Sulaco escape ship, a frame of wood, and they begin to wall it in. In the prison level, there's 2 ancient workers continuing their carpentry. The planks cover more and more of the opening. Bam, bam, bam. They cover more of Ripley. Bam, bam, bam. She stares at them. On the roof of the Abbey, planks are rising up around the ship, covering it, locking away the good omen turned evil. In the library, John and Matthias sit before an open book. He doesn't read it. He can hear the pounding of the hammers. It seems to reverberate through the planet, through his skull. That's called a migraine, John. You should get that checked out. He closes his eyes in pain. Ripley. Only her face is visible. Another board. Bam, bam, bam. Now she only has eyes. Bam, bam, bam. Just before the last plank is put into place.
Here you go, woman. Something from your ship. Something to keep you company. Are they're just
They're fucking
walling her in?
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll die.
God
Slowly.
damn it, Montresor!
Yeah, no kidding. What is this?
Part of the planet, part of the planet.
Part of the ship, part of the crew,
Part of the plantoid, part of the crew.
part of the plantoid, like she'll be sealed in there for a while, and then like they'll open it up, and a new monk will come out.
Why is Pirates of the Caribbean 2 so good?
I don't know.
It has no reason to be that good.
It's just so
Oh my
good.
god, guys, this is how they reproduce. They capture like strangers, right?
The plantoid.
the plantoid like takes them in. They seal them into a small chamber, and then slowly over the course, they're transformed into a new monk, which is inevitably male. So out of this will stumble a man, Brother Ripley.
I miss the B-movie script. I don't like I miss like the cheesy B-movie thing. Like this is ridiculous. Like
He tosses it into the cell. Ripley catches it. Watches as the last light is covered over. Bam, bam, bam. She continues to stare once the open wall as her eyes grow accustomed to the darkness. The little light that's creeping between the planks grows in intensity until it is soon enough to see what she has caught. Newt's doll's head. She looks around in her cell. Actually, a narrow space behind other cells. One wall curved out like a narrow slice crosses towards the edge of the pie. She looks at the doll's head in her hand. A beat. She freaks out. You fucking idiots! You're dead! You're all dead! She beats on the walls. She kicks them, smashes her head against the wall. Again, her nose starts to bleed. Her hand starts to go to her nose. She squints in the darkness. She sees the blood. She tastes the iron in her mouth. Death is with her again. Dead. The widest part of her cell in the middle allows her to slide down into a sitting position, and she does. Christ! Jesus Christ! It's here? Shit! I can't get rid of it. She looks at the doll's head. Newt, this isn't what I wanted. She throws the doll's head away. It bounces off the wall and rolls it into an upright position, so it's eerily staring at her. She snaps. Don't stare at me! Beat.
sorry.
She looks down at the base of the wall facing her, where it meets the floor, the rotting timbers, a hole in it. There's a man's face. Bright, wrinkled eyes beneath the snowy white crew cut. He's looking back at her.
I can feel myself changing. I just needed to look at a woman once
That is not a part of the
to
script.
remember what I was.
Stop.
You took my tits.
I'm really worried. The Sulaco Escape Pod 4 is now a memory, as the monks have finished walling it up. Now it's just another part of the Abbey, which is really weird because that's really unnecessary. They could have just taken it apart or something.
There's like too much going on.
This
Like I always said that the Alien 3 movie has a case of too many characters. I missed that because I'm at least
Attached?
At least the area it's in makes sense, right? You're
Oh
not
my
having questions.
God.
You're not having questions of how where they are works in addition to the rest of it.
spatially I'm just fucking confused. I want to cry. This is so confusing.
The monks move down thin wooden ladders as we follow them. We pass them down to an open window and into a library, the medieval section. Night into dawn. John is still here. Matthias is asleep at his feet, and the tables and the benches are covered with hundreds of books that he's pulled off the shelves. Their chains all tangled, and all open to pictures of devils. Different representations of evils through the ages. Lucifer, Shaitan, Ahriman, Asmodeus, Satan, the temptation of Christ from the master of Schloss Leichenstein, Satan roasting on an enormous grill from Tres Riches Hures du Duc de Berry.
You
Well,
want
we
you want
just
to
got
take
rid of the
I
entire.
you want to
fuck me.
take another shot at that
Nah.
dog?
We just alienated the entire French audience.
Well, yeah,
What
Tres Riches.
What French person
Dude.
would listen to such inferior culture?
Maybe
produced
I
by
know a
an
French
American?
person, dude. You don't know.
Do you?
Do you know how to pronounce that?
No.
Très
Fuck you.
riche, Hures du Duc de Berry.
Well, now that's just offensive.
Yeah, I think you actually just said that you were gonna fuck the Duke of Berry.
I was looking
The
down. I
Dingleberry.
was looking down to see if I could go pee, and all I see is face and ass because they're capitalized. So
The devil is the serpent, the semi-human
Yeah, right there.
Grunwald's
Oh, I'm not
temptation
that
of
far
Saint
away.
Anthony, Patcher's Saint Wolfgang and the devil, miasma of medieval monsters. John picks his way through the mess. Like a man possessed, he fumbles through book after book, as if these books are going to help him with a fucking alien. Now, the first golden rays of daylight filter through the huge stained glass windows. John rapidly flips through the medieval tome in front of him.
Are you still thinking about the winter?
No, now I'm thinking about how the day-night cycle works on this thing.
Don't worry about
It doesn't. It doesn't. None of this planet works. The fact that they have these many goddamn books doesn't work.
Where'd they get all these books if Earth is dead?
Wayland Yutani sent them a care package.
Of books.
Also, why do they have these books and not other books that explain?
Because they need to fit the aesthetic, Blake. They chose their package. Wayland Yutani is going to stick to the package.
I'd like the outdated knowledge package. Thank you.
I kind of hate this script.
I'm gonna go take a piss.
I call second
Alright.
secondsies.
Secondsies.
Yeah.
We
I call
can't-
winner. Like,
So the golden rays.
the toilet comes down.
Flip past a,
Max lost.
they flit past an illustration of Satan depicted as having a face on his ass, and further still, he stops. This is it. We can't see what the illustration is, but we see his reaction. His eyes open wide as saucers and slams the book closed as if the image would strike back. He turns to Matthias as if to say something, and he decides not to wake up the sleeping dog. What are you gonna do? Talk to your dog about this? What are you, a crazy man? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, John. John wraps the book chain around his hand and puts one foot up against the shelf and pulls. Smacked! The old chain gives away. Why the fuck do we have these chains if they're not going to work?
Well, the only material they have to make the chains out of is glass.
So it's stupid. It's like we can't make books out of glass either. Face set. He loops the shoulder strap of the burlap medicine bag over his shoulder, and he clutches the book to his chest. And he gently pets his sleeping dog and goes, "Oh, so I'm not going to wake up my dog, but I'm going to wake up my dog." Interior hallway outside Abbott's office. Day. John strides down the corridor purposefully, but stops and flattens himself against a wall, as if this is like Mission Impossible or something, when the door to the Abbott's office opens suddenly. Brother Graham, the hysterical monk, is forcibly led from the room by two burly monks. He's taken down the corridor in another direction. He's gagged, and a third burly monk moves out of the doorway with the abbot.
Max better hurry up, dude. Like,
Now find what?
yeah, I don't know who that's supposed to be.
It says
That's-
John, so I'm gonna do it.
I think that's the abbot.
No, it's
Now
definitely the abbot.
Yeah,
Now find John and have him brought to me immediately.
no,
Yes,
it's,
father.
no, it's fucking Johnny. He's just like, now I have to find myself and have myself brought to me.
I mean, he is a monk. He's probably been trying to find himself for 40 years.
God,
I
probably.
must find the touch of myself. All right, start in the library and keep it quiet.
Start in the library and keep it quiet.
The third burly monk nods and moves off. The abbot watches him leave and then goes back into the room and closes the door. John stares at the closed door. A beat. What does that mean?
A beat is just like
It's
you
just like a
hold for a
pause.
moment, and then you go back to it. So like,
Did the toilet win or did you win?
so like when you
won. I was just.
but just barely.
when you see a beat in dialogue, then you're just
you just
going
hold
for
for a
moment,
sec.
Yes.
and then you start up again.
I don't like that.
A beat's like, well, what if I? No, that wouldn't like that. That pause.
They could just do a bit. I don't know. A beat's just...
That's just standard like
That is
procedure.
Right.
Then,
It's
like,
That's
if
how
you
they
don't
write
like
it out.
You can go back in time when the first script was written and change it.
I will. I'll make a fucking time machine and make sure this script burns.
That's how we discover time travel out of spite.
Actually, yes,
Honestly-
probably.
Honestly,
probably
that's
how
probably
this
how it's-
happened.
It's probably how it's gonna happen.
Like, someone's gonna be so
We-
pissed off at something. They're
We
gonna
see
fucking
this
change it.
script. We decide to go back in time and turn it into the prison mine script.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because I don't think
leave.
is there even a writer for who's the actual writer for
So
Game of Thrones?
where are we right now?
Interior-
Third Burly Monk.
Interior Glass Factory Day.
Oh.
The first monks straggle in for their morning shift. Kyle is among them. He lifts the glowing iron from the wall, mounted racked, and moves towards the glass furnace as two other monks begin to stoke the fire.
Who was that while I was gone?
We all were.
We all were.
Oh, all at once?
Yes. John enters and looks around the room for a frantic moment and cannot find Kyle. At the glass furnace, about to dip his glowing iron into the molten glass, John runs over to him. Almost knocks him over.
Hey, watch it!
He sees that John is agitated.
What? What is it?
I'm agitated.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
The other monks begin to notice the commotion. Is this really a commotion? Starts moving in for a look.
Abbott must.
John tries to catch his breath. He gesticulates
Gesticulates wildly.
Don't hurt yourselves now. Kyle puts down his blowing iron.
John, relax. Take a deep breath.
And
Christ.
gesticulate wildly.
Now I sound like you.
He sees the book clutched in John's white-knuckled hands.
Is that it, John? Is it the book?
Yes. The devil.
This man has not been asleep for days. He's been in the library all night, and he will not wake up his dog, except he will wake up his dog.
Wait a minute. Why are they saying, like, the book? Like, this is the book.
Because we tore it off a chain.
Well, he's carrying a book. So, like, is it the book? Like, he's wondering if it's the book he's holding. It's not the book.
I don't know. That's
Calm down. We're not,
said
if
weird.
it does turn out to be that way, I'm sorry, but
Kyle moves closer to him cautiously. He sees other monks gathering around, closing in on him, whispering. Their
He's got
nose is... they have noses like for this. They're like gossip hounds. They're like, I smell something good.
he's got it.
like the Comet Woman.
He found her. He's infected.
John sees one of the monks run out, undoubtedly going to tell the abbot. John looks into his friend's face. Fear.
Everything's gonna be fine. Now, let's see the...
Don't humor me. I'm.
Sure, everything's gonna be fine.
Sure, everything's gonna be fine. Let me just get that book. If only I could explain.
Get that book.
He can't. He can't. John yanks the book away and spins, bursting through the crowd.
Wait, John!
Interior shaft room. Yes, I love me a good shaft room. The cage is still down. The ropes stretched into the abyss. John runs in, moves to the ropes, and he places the book on the floor. He tightens his scarred hands on the rope, mind racing. The woman will know. She'll know what it is, how to combat it. He pulls. There's no tension against the ropes. John falls back on his ass. Okay. The ropes whiz through the rusty pulley overhead and pile on the floor in front of John. He lifts up the end of the rope. He stares. It's been bitten through.
Cut to through the monastery, a series of shots. I figured I'd take over for...
No, it's mine.
Okay, I mean, if you want.
John runs through the building, through the upper half of the planet, down through many levels, past dozens of monks, oblivious to the previous night's events and the danger they have faced.
Screw this.
why did
I'm
you-
going to the bathroom.
Why did you turn to, like, Aunt Sheila from, like, New Jersey? Like, you know, the
Why
one...
did you?
Why did you?
Because I was copying him!
Not really.
No, with
No.
Kyle.
Oh,
He
yeah.
started out like a normal Southern man, and
And now
then
he's
he
like-
evolved into Jersey Shore.
I don't know.
I just do several voices because I can. You just do them accidentally.
Yeah, mostly because I forget what I did.
I forget so many.
I mean, I do that for D&D a lot, but that's fine. That's D&D.
I'm pretty sure, like, with some of my characters, like, they started out as one thing else entirely, and they've just shifted into whatever they are, like, at that session.
Anyway. John runs through the building. We already did that. Monks working at looms. Monks in the training rooms. Oh, that
Tanning
rhymes.
rooms. They're leather workers.
No, training rooms. They're fighting.
I thought they were just, like, had the fucking... They were just...
Well, it's a training montage, Rocky style.
Let's
Yes.
get down to business. I am bad at singing. Monks in the morning prayer room. Pass them all to the Abbey basement.
Workroom day.
Mops and broom. John enters. His hire is wild and breathing heavily. He shoves a book in his medicine bag and pushes aside and we're done. Pushes aside a kindling wood to reveal a wooden door set into the timbers of the floor. He opens the door. Ladders extending down through the huge open areas beneath the upper level, past the vast underground viaducts that are held up by wooden rafters. Beyond that, a great underground sea that marks the center of the planet, below the cells, and Ripley. Okay, so they have an underground sea. That's kind of neat. John, he can smell the dank air from the lower tunnels. He must go down the hard way. He climbs into the darkness. Interior Abbey lavatory night. An enormous room over a football field in length, consisting of at least 100 open toilet stalls facing 100 wall-mounted sinks. Their condition, though, bespeaks the awful truth. The stalls furthest away are cobwebbed. Some have sidewalls stripped up for firewood. Of the original 100 sinks, maybe 20 are still functional. A facility created for a much larger number of colonists than there are left. A skinny monk washes his hands. In the stalls, moving down the row of seats, chest high, thank you. Okay. Past a few empty stalls and several grimacing faces, the second to last being the abbot. The abbot.
Cold tonight.
Continuing to the last bald tribunal member.
Bald tribunal member. He gets no name.
Yeah, I can't even
Gets
get...
colder every night.
Why is he smoking?
Because I decided he's smoking.
Every day.
He's smoking on the shitter, man.
Never this bad. Taking so much wood out of the structure, the surface wind blows right through the colony, right under the floor.
The bald tribunal member shivers as a cold breeze runs along the waste trough under the floor stalls and chills the air in his bowl.
Right up to your bloody backside. Nights like this make me miss plumbing. Gah!
He feels a tugging at his bowels, and it's not piles, a beat.
What?
I don't...
The bald tribunal member screams as something grabs at his ass.
Grab him from below. Note, the left half of the following 5 pages is cut off. I have completed the text to the best of my ability.
What?
Well, because somebody redid this.
Oh, somebody retyped. No, so I can't complain about whoever terribly adapted this script into text.
Because, like, probably it was damaged.
Yeah, they probably threw this shit in the dumpster.
I mean, I would. It's bad. It's not good.
Oh my
None of
God.
it. Like, I don't care about any of these characters. I don't care about. We haven't heard from the alien, like, at all.
Well, guess what's grabbing at his rectum?
Finally now.
Something grabs him from below. Is it like putting his hand up there and it's like, I'm gonna wear you like a puppet?
No, I'm thinking the small mouth is going right into the anus. You know.
Wow.
Ooh.
It has a fetish.
Oh, definitely.
A dirty rimming fetish.
But anyways, for these, so the next 5 pages are missing.
But whoever typed this up completed the text as best as they could.
We gotta wait for Matt to
So
come back.
yeah,
for
we're
this.
gonna wait for our friend here.
What happened?
There's a portion of the script
boy.
is damaged. So they were just like, we completed as much as we could, but it's been
Yeah,
damaged.
look. Note the left half of the following 5 pages is cut off.
I have completed the text to the best of my ability.
Wait.
Poor guy.
Where is this?
It's fucking
Up a bit,
page
up a bit.
48.
Yeah. There it is.
All right. Ready?
Yeah. Go
All right.
ahead and read that next sentence.
Something snakes up his rectum and hooks into the lower intestine, which is disgusting, by the way. I
What
didn't
did
need to know that.
miss? I was only up there for a little
He
bit.
They were
convulses
complaining about how cold the wind was on their ass.
while they're taking a shit in the trough. Anyways, yeah, so let me just, yeah. There's a terrible ripping sound as the bald tribunal monk is pulled violently down and out of frame. I hope to God he is, because
It's
I don't
the
want to
shit
see it.
demon.
We pan back
God,
down the
that's
row of
this is
stalls,
fucking terrifying.
tight
This
on,
is actually the worst. Like,
tight on each sitting monk, and see their horrified reactions. Some of them constipated, as they feel the alien
Not
drag
anymore.
the bald tribunal's monk's body away under the trough.
Oh my god! Like he's just grabbing for anything that like will fucking hold him, and they can just feel him sliding past their asses.
The abbot is in his stall. He pounds on the wall.
Matthew! Matthew! Jesus, what's wrong?
Okay,
skinny monk.
chill a little bit there
Okay.
with the slamming. I love the energy. All right.
Skinny monk.
Skinny Monk is washing his hand and sees all of this. He loses control of his bodily functions as blood sprays from the faucet. That's very weird.
Wait,
Other-
so did he just like in his robes?
No, blood is spraying from the faucet.
Yeah,
Like,
but it says loses control of his bodily functions.
well, yeah, no, he definitely shits himself. But
Yeah.
also,
And I don't blame him.
why is there blood coming from the faucets? Other monks, their stalls as the toilets reject the torrent of gore, blood and viscera are spraying across the walls, converting the abbey into an abattoir. Cuts a space, because space is cool. Angle on the orbiter Arceon. An orb of wood hangs peacefully against the tapestry of celestial seas. Ripley, voiceover. Death. Interior. Ripley's cell, night. Darkness. Somewhere water drips into a puddle. Ripley lays on the side of the floor with her head resting near a hole in the floor. Her eyes are closed. Wherever I go. A hand pushes a crust through the hole. She looks to open her eyes for the food.
Do you want someone else to take over?
Yeah, please. I'm so
White-
done. That was a lot of text.
The
while you're
white-haired
gone.
man's head appears.
Oh, can I be the white hair?
I'm already the white-haired man.
Oh. Oh, that's right.
Take it.
Daddy, please. Thanks, no, but no thanks, Anthony.
She knows his name.
You're waiting for meat? They don't bring me meat because they know I'm an android.
Hell
yes.
Another android?
You
Yeah,
always have to have an
boy.
android in an alien movie.
There
You
has to
always
be
have
one.
to have an android.
I kind of figured there was a different one.
Even if it's a secret android.
I like the secret android.
Or a secret not android like in the real
I was
Alien
imagining
3.
that the abbot was going to be an android.
Oh, fuck. That would have been so cool.
Yeah.
What if he
Damn.
is? What if he still is?
I mean, it hasn't been disproven yet. But also, he was taking a shit, so let's be honest.
Maybe he was just showing solidarity.
Solidarity, my brothers. Solidarity, my brothers.
Let me just take a dig.
Solidarity, my brothers.
Yeah, I'm totally shitting in here.
Like
He just
got
makes
a bag-
raspberries with his mouth.
well, he like dumps out a bag of like sheep dung that he got earlier.
Or like,
Oh man, oh, that oatmeal went right through me. That I totally ate earlier.
I mean, wait, do the androids need to eat? I don't remember.
they do
that.
it for pleasure.
Apparently, this guy does.
I think he just told them that he needs to eat so that they'll bring him.
Because
food.
if I remember correctly, I feel like an alien's bishop eats. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I don't think it's like a thing. Like, it doesn't pan in on him eating.
I think they probably can at least pretend to eat.
Well, anyways,
So
the guy's eating. Ripley says she's not hungry, and Anthony takes a bite.
Just a little crunchy.
Ripley twists onto her back until she's staring up at the ceiling.
Waste of time.
You don't eat, you'll starve to death, girl.
That was the plan when they put me down here, and why should you care?
Because I'm a synthetic person, you don't think I can care?
Believe me, that's a discussion you don't want to have with me.
You told me you had a bad experience and a good one with androids.
That's one of each. That means you could go either way, and I'm tired of talking about this.
He pushes the bread towards her again.
You still gotta eat. You gotta fight these bastards.
I'm tired of fighting. Maybe I'll be dead before he finds me. Maybe he won't get the satisfaction.
He? You make it sound like this alien has a personal score to settle with you. The biology you describe, queen laying eggs, larvae, drone, that's very insectoid. Insects usually don't bear grudges.
And androids aren't usually the prisoners of lunatics that believe that they're ancient Greeks.
Medieval monks.
Whatever.
And they've only chosen to live the lifestyle. They don't believe they're... What's that?
Ripley strains to listen. In the distance, knocking. Someone is knocking on the walls. A voice calls out, Ripley!
Interior, prison level corridor, night. He moves down the hallway, bangs his fist against the walls every few feet, waits a moment for a reply, then moves on. Interior, Anthony's cell. Anthony gets off the floor, moves so she can see into his cell. The walls of Anthony's cell are covered with charcoal sketches, different versions of demons and the devil. She rolls her eyes. This guy's an android. Anthony crosses his cell door, peers through eye level. Interior prison level. Corridor hallway, Anthony POV. John coming towards him, knocking on the walls of boarded up cells.
Hey, you knocking. Cut it out. You're going to wake everybody up.
John moves to Anthony's doors, looks at him right through the slot. Anthony recognizes him.
Brother John?
John unbolts Anthony's door, picks him up by his cassock.
Anthony, I thought you were dead 15 years.
Made too good for that. What are you doing?
I'm looking. The abbot?
What? You look like you've seen the devil.
He has.
Anthony turns to look back at Ripley, moves aside so John can see her face at the hole.
You mean he...
Anthony turns back. John is gone. Interior, the corridor. As John begins to pull the outermost... the outermost...
The outermost!
Welcome to the outermost.
Did we go past those 5 pages?
We're still here.
We've been reading through them.
Yeah.
These are completed to the best that he could.
As John begins to pull the outermost planks off.
I was right, wasn't I? You've seen it. You've seen the alien?
John pauses at that. His eyes tighten at the memory.
I can tell you have. I was right. It came with me. To the wall, sharp. Go away.
John stops, looks at the wall. Ripley's voice comes clearly through the wood.
Listen, priest, or whatever you are. I know what you want, and I can't help you. I couldn't help any of the others. Just stop what you're doing and go away. Do you understand?
John has opened a crack that exposes Ripley's eyes. He stares at her a beat, tries to think of what to reply. He goes back to work as she continues her confession.
You're gonna stay, Father? But you're not going to talk. Okay. Then you can listen. You should listen. You're an abbot. Your abbot was right. I am guilty, but not of heresy, of murder.
John stops again, just stares at her eyes.
The murder of the crew of the Nostradamus.
Nostradamus!
The Nostromo, where I first met the alien.
I went back in time and killed that bastard before he could predict what I was going to do on the night of April 11th.
Ironically, he predicted that I would kill him that day.
Couldn't quite get back to him. I only got one time jump.
It was weird. Anyways.
That reminds him of why he's here. He doubles... Oh, wait, the crew of the Nostromo...
Yeah, I did that.
Did you do the second sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
You just talked over me like an ass.
Right.
You fuck.
Hey! Please continue reading the script, damn it. I don't have time for it.
We don't pay you to cry.
I'm not getting paid.
Yeah! So stop crying.
That reminds him of why he's here. He doubles his efforts at the boards.
No, not the same one that's here now. Or maybe it is. Maybe they're all the same one. I couldn't save my crew then. I should have been able to, but I couldn't. When I went the second time,
Her eyes soften.
then I met Newt. Newt, I fought. I stayed alive to keep Newt alive. Hope that maybe it would make up for.
She trails off, slides down the wall.
Now we got her too. So what's the point? Hard again. How's she hard? Whatever.
It's parenthetical. That's how you're supposed to read the line. So, now you're just steeled. You don't care anymore, emotionally disconnected.
Well, I could tell that from context. Fuck you guys.
Well,
Just
this
go
guy
away.
wants to write
Leave
it in.
me in here. Just go away. Leave me in here. If you're going to let me out, you'll want me to help you, and it'll start all over again. Let it end.
John breaks through. Flickering torchlights streams in the moat-filled air around him. Ripley looks up at him.
I can't help you.
John, heaving and panting from the exertion. Exertion.
Exertion.
Swallows.
Please.
It never ends.
Ripley's been recast as like this fucking crystalline super deity structure.
Ripley's a woman for this entire time, and then it's in the dark, so we haven't seen her in a while, and then you just see her as this fucking wooden golem thing.
Okay, so real quick, this is at 2:14.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause this recording,
Okay.
and we'll record a part 2. We could probably just do it tonight.
I don't know.
It's getting pretty late.
No?
No,
Yes?
it's
You
like
want to call it here then?
12.
Yeah, we'll
48.
call it here.
Or do you want to call it at like halfway again?
Nah,
We're about
like 60.
halfway.
we're actually almost halfway, so I think we're good. We dicked around a lot this second. I think we will again, but I think
We'll get an earlier start next time.
I also got work in the morning.
Gross.
Maybe we could do this like at on Monday or Tuesday.
I could do Tuesday.
Oh wait, no, on Tuesday I was trying to shoot for
I
Burning
can't go-
Wheel.
I can't go too late on Tuesday because I have work in the morning.
And Monday, aren't we doing Numadome?
I don't think we are.
No?
I don't know. But what we'll do is we'll stop it here. This
Okay.
is a good stopping point. And real quick thoughts so far.
The script deserved to be burned.
Where is
I
the
feel like-
wind coming from?
Where's the wind coming from? Well, where is the winter coming from? Where is the sun coming from?
Like, I can kind of explain some of this.
It's
like
the
maybe
Weyland-Yutani Climate Control Unit.
like with the daylight, maybe like they're like the planet's flipping around, so like it faces the sun, or it's like going around whatever it's orbiting, so that like the sun's blocked for a bit, and then it comes back around, and then that's day. But like, how is there winter? Why is there winter? What is causing there to be winter?
I don't know. I think there's like too much going on in this script.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a
a lot
lot.
of world building, and I'm kind of glad they just pitched it because this seems really over the top.
And
There's
very
some
ambitious in terms of like
special effects.
special effects, props, sets.
Honestly, I think if
I mean-
they ditched the wooden planet thing entirely.
That's what they
it
did.
does-
Oh yeah, it is what they did.
Even if they didn't pitch the entire wooden planet thing, they should have pitched the entire concept of them being monks.
well, they
because
did
that's
that too.
Yeah,
they did do
It's
that.
just with the monks and the medieval setting, space Amish, it's very anachronistic with what they're trying to go for.
I
Mhm.
also just don't like any of the characters at all. Like John, don't give a shit.
I like Anthony,
Who?
the
The cyborg.
android.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, but we just met him.
I know.
But you're playing him.
We're,
What is that supposed to mean?
think
I mean, that's why
you-
I
He's had-
like
he's
John.
had, like-
Yeah.
He's like had a total of 6 lines still.
I got a good feeling about him.
Well, yeah, that's it though. It's all. It's a feeling.
I mean, it's just interesting because like when androids are thrown into a alien script, something crazy happens with it.
Usually, but it's just yeah. But anyways, John is legitimately just some monk guy that looks at books.
I just feel like this is such a departure from
he's a slot-in protagonist.
this
Yeah.
is such a departure from the series. It's so out there and just
The
it's more fantasy driven than hard science fiction.
Yeah, and it doesn't really make sense as an alien movie that way, but
It
there
doesn't.
are the bones there that actually made it into Alien 3, and that's
And I
kind
like-
of what I like.
I like the ideas that they brought into Alien 3 because that's part of why I like Alien 3. I like it for like the prisoners finding religion. They're all terrible people, but they're trying to make themselves better.
I like the use of animals as hosts. I didn't like fucking wool, the wool covered alien.
No, that was bad.
Fucking
I feel
sheep.
like the alien has it like no, I feel like with every Alien movie, there's been like some form of tension present through at least majority
Mhm.
of the script. I know this was like a lot of lead up, and they were trying to do a bunch of world building, but I have missed absolutely any of the tension.
There's not a lot of tension. Like Ripley even comes on and she's
She's
like all
mopey.
pissy and for no reason.
Missy's no, there's a reason Newt's dead, but
Newt's dead, but I felt like in the
Ripley-
real Alien 3, it's handled much better. She just gives up entirely. In this one, she's just like yelling and screaming. Like, yeah, these people don't believe her, but I feel like it's wildly out of character because she kind of acted like that in
Ripley's.
Aliens, but then she also gave up again.
I
you
feel
know?
like Ripley's always been a badass, and it's kind of taken away from the character a bit.
Yeah, it's strange. I like the weird ideas in the script, but as an Alien script, I don't think it
No.
works.
Ripley should be the focus rather than
Yeah,
Rather than
slotting
this
in
world
these
building.
in other protagonists.
Yeah, here's the other thing. Ripley isn't the focus of this movie at all.
What-
Brother
whatsoever,
John is
yeah.
for some reason.
And Brother John is an unlikable character. There's nothing.
He's
Like,
just
we're
like a
not-
schlub.
We're not getting enough of him. Like, that's the thing. We're not getting enough of him. Like, he has a dog. That's great. That's Hollywood shorthand for likable character. Oh, he's got a dog and he likes to bring his dog with him while he reads
They
the
were probably gonna
books.
cast him as some like big star that like everyone likes at the time, and like, oh yeah, he's great because he's played by this guy, but he has nothing past that.
It's a milquetoast character. There's nothing there.
Like all the characters in the original Alien were likable in some way because they felt like real people.
Who was the
Yeah.
guy? Who was the big black guy that was like smoking? That was like smoking, and it's just like from like Alien One, and like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
chowing down like a fucking monster.
Here's the other thing. There's no other characters. Like, we got the Abbott, we got Ripley, we got Anthony.
We've got Kyle.
We got the
We got Kyle for how long?
we got the bald tribunal monk who only got a name when he died.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like
We've got a total of really 4 reoccurring characters that have actually been.
I'm just
And none of them were
Utilized.
developed.
I'm just confused because like they've got this alien on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do they have more than one alien? Because it seems to suggest that they have like many of these things running around.
like something had to have laid that egg. Also, here's the thing: like in Alien 3, right? We have a ton of characters, but they all at least get a moment of characterization. Like they get something. Like you can tell, like 2 guys are buddies and they usually go together.
Like perfect example, the guy that tries to rape Ripley.
Yeah.
He gets like a character arc where he sacrifices himself to save everyone else when the whole thing's on fire.
Yeah.
That's a moment. It's kind of you need to watch the assembly cut for that, but it's a moment. And like
when you see them splitting up, there's like those 2 guys that like you like talk like you got the feeling they get assigned to go together all the time.
yeah, I will say though that Alien 3 does have this issue where it like characters just disappear with no real ceremony, but
Well, that's here's the thing. There's no ceremony in this either. So
there's no
far.
ceremony to anything. It just
Ugh.
I feel like the idea is very grand, but the execution isn't
There is no execution.
up to snuff. And yes, this is a first draft and it's interesting, but I don't think it's like
You could tell this would
There's
when they
nothing-
gave this to the producer ripped it apart.
yeah, you can tell. It's probably why it's damaged, but
Yeah, probably.
But anyway.
there's no there's nothing to go off of here at all
mhm.
from a movie perspective. Like, you can take some portions and ideas from it,
Like
but you
perfect
can't
example.
build off it.
Perfect example. Jurassic Park 4 had so much wild stuff going on.
we should do that.
We should. It had so much wild garbage going on that like it was a B movie script and you loved every minute of it.
It
It was just so zany.
It just jumped into it. It fucking fully jumped into B movie time.
This is just like too many ideas going at once and there's not enough substantial
We gotta have wooden
footing.
planet, and we have to have these people, building things out of wood, and making new prisons.
The
cells.
ideas-
But glass, apparently.
The ideas are really
glass.
cool, but when you linger on them they don't make sense anymore.
Who
At
are they
all.
making the glass for?
Themselves.
No, it's for the Abbey.
The stained glass
We already
windows
have
maybe.
glass everywhere.
more.
We need bottles so that we can
Cry
bottle
into
our
them.
bottle our fucking monk wine.
Why wouldn't they just grow trees? That's my other question.
That's technology. We can't do that.
But that's just trees.
Technology.
Too much technology for the plantoid.
They just.
We don't use technology, even though our race is dying out. I don't get that either.
There's a lot of questions to be raised, and I feel like
We know
even in
about
like a
technology.
2-hour movie, there's too much going on.
It was really poorly paced as well. Just we got through.
There's too much going on.
We got through the first half of it, and
Mhm.
it felt like there was nothing.
And then like all the exciting stuff happens in like half a page.
Yeah.
The most exciting thing took 30 seconds,
Which-
and then
Which the guy had to recreate because that entire section was
damaged.
yeah.
but anyway, we'll record part 2 of this. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it picks up because I do want to see it through.
Okay,
I
wait.
have
Let
a
me
feeling it
just
will.
skim a bit, okay?
Don't skim a little bit because we got to be blind.
I feel like I'm blind just reading any of this. Is fucking
But we'll
got off.
record the rest of this some other time, and then I'll just fade out from there,
Wait.
like
Okay.
we're
Wait.
just-
Do we want to do an outro?
talking blah blah blah.
Outro.